of a three-game set
Hello
for the
and
Michigan
welcome
Wolverines
to
with the
Alumni Field,
Boilermakers. Michigan
where
won
Michigan
Friday Night Affair
softball
for nothing
looks to
yesterday.
take on
They
the
took the
Purdue
earlier
Boilermakers
affair
and
11-1
complete a
was the
sweep.
final score.
Michigan, of course, taking the first two games of the
incoming
series,
rain,
and now
they got
leads the
game
all-time
in
series against
just
Purdue,
in time
44-2.
back
It's a nice crisp spring afternoon here today,
down, so they did
and
well
Michigan
yesterday to get
will
that
be
game
looking
in. Michigan
to start another one of their win streak. Of course, with their 18-game win streak getting snapped last Friday, now looking to build up a modest win streak again. Let's get you those lineups right away. For Purdue, batting first and playing first base will be Mallory Baker. Batting second, playing center field will be Riley Scott. Batting third, playing third base is Jenny Bayan. Batting fourth and catching is Alexa Biggs. Batting fifth and playing shortstop is Hallie Higginbotham. Batting fifth, the designated hitter is Sienna Wagner. Batting seventh, playing second base is Stephanie Ramsey. Batting eighth, the left fielder Rachel Crisco. And batting ninth, the right fielder Maya Hughes. Defensively for Michigan, it will be Faith Canfield playing second base, batting first. Natalie Peters, the center fielder, will be batting second. Tara Blanco on the mound for Michigan will be batting third. Lou Allen, the designated hitter, will be batting fourth. Aiden Falk, the first baseman, batting fifth. Madison Uden, third baseman, batting sixth. Haley Hoganrod, the right fielder, batting seventh. Katie Alexander doing the catching, batting eighth. Natalia Rodriguez playing shortstop, rounding out the lineup, and Courtney Richardson will be in left field. And here's the first pitch, and it's down low for a ball. And we're underway here from Alumni Field, just off the banks of Lake Erie.
Afternoon at about 38 degrees here at Alumni Field.
Game time temperature is 38 degrees as that second pitch misses high, and the count is 2-0 to Mallory Baker.
The Big Ten weekend of games is wrapping up with a nearly full lineup of games on a Sunday, Easter Sunday.
That third pitch is in there for a strike, and the count goes to 2-1.
So over the weekend, Indiana.
So Tara Blanco on the mound for Michigan today. She has a 2.05 ERA as a senior on the year. One complete game in 10 games started for a 6-2 win-loss record. As that pitch in there for a strike as well. Now the count evens up at 2-2.
Two from Penn State, 6-5 and 4-2, and they play again today. Nebraska and Northwestern has split their first two. 6-2 win by Nebraska and an 8-3
Mallory Baker is leading off for Purdue, batting 270 on the year as she swings and taps that one towards first base, but it will roll foul.
First base side by Aiden Falk, and we'll reset 2 balls and 2 strikes. Maryland and Iowa lock up for the third time this weekend today. Maryland took the first contest of the weekend 2-1, and the second one 5-2.
Of course, this Michigan softball team been very dominant this year. They took the first game in the series against Purdue on Friday 4-0. And won yesterday 11-5 as a swing and a miss by Baker. Blanco gets her first strikeout of the day.
Is Mallory Baker. She is now 0 for 7 in this series. And that brings up the center fielder Riley Scott
7 strikeouts on the year and 57 innings pitched. That will bring up the number 2 hitter for Purdue, Riley Scott.
She went 1 for 2 in the game yesterday. She had a walk in there as well.
Scott, the freshman, batting 298 on the season.
Pitcher against the left-handed batting Scott. Here's the first pitch to Scott.
The first pitch she takes for a strike.
Strike one, a demonstrative call strike by plate umpire Steve Gould. Tanya Gary at first, Mike Hernandez at third.
Scott. Just 1 homer and 2 RBIs in 114 at-bats as she takes strike 2 for a strike as well, and now she's quickly behind the count 0-2.
The other weekend series, 8-10, is Ohio State and Wisconsin. Ohio State took the first game of that weekend series 9-7, but yesterday Wisconsin rebounded with a 3-1.
Purdue 8-26 on the season.
Today as
and
well.
Here's 0-2 in the Big Ten as she takes that one for a ball.
And 2 strikes.
1-2. Michigan, on the other hand, 27-7, 3-1 in the Big Ten. That lone loss coming to Iowa last Friday. They lost 4-3 in Iowa City.
Both 3-2, and Northwestern at 4-3 is the other conference team.
Now the 1-2 pitch swung on and grounded back to Blanco. She throws to first and in plenty of time to retire Scott. 2 down quickly in the first inning.
Number 3 batter for the Purdue Boilermakers.
So that will bring up Jenny Bayan.
Bayan is 2 for 6 for the weekend with an RBI.
Bayan batting 280 on the season.
11-1 victory by the Wolverines.
Does have 4 homers and 18 RBIs.
Batting hero in the game yesterday, going 3 for 4 with a couple of home runs. Here's the first pitch to Jay.
She swings and sends that first pitch far down the right field line, but it's going to go just foul.
Foul ball. The ball.
So the count will go to 0-1.
2 home runs
Jenny
yesterday by Tara Blanco, including a Blanco blast to Ray Fisher Stadium to
Bayan yesterday went 2 for 3 with an RBI.
11-1 being the final
Michigan
score.
looking to get her out here early today in the first inning.
The ball's 1 strike, 2 outs, top of the first inning here at Alumni Field. Here's the 1 to
Now, though, 1 pitch is down low. Count goes to 1
ball, 1 strike. Let's get the afternoon started here. Lou Allen, the Michigan freshman designated player, who's been batting
mentioned a little bit crisp here today for Michigan.
Sang the national anthem.
Nice. And now the 1-1 pitch.
1-2 pitch.
It's not affecting Blanco as she induces a swing right there by Jenny Bayan, and the count will go to 1-2.
After she was done singing the anthem, Allen got a lot of high fives and smiles from her teammates, and then they were ready to play some softball. And now here in the top of the first inning, on a sunny but chilly
here on
windy
Jenny Bayan,
afternoon. It's a 1
with
ball,
no
2
runners
strike,
on and
2
2
out
outs.
pitch coming to Bayan. Here it
top
is.
of the first, and that pitch just outside, says hopefully umpire Steve Gold.
Tara Blanco
just barely missed.
In the circle.
Blanco
2.05
goes out
ERA,
behind the circle.
2 is her record. This is her 11th
Now
start,
she'll step
her
back
14th
in.
appearance.
Count 2-2, 2 outs here in the top of the first, and the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and hit to the shortstop. Rodriguez. She's up. She throws to Fogg. Plenty of time to get Bayan. So 1-2-3 go the Boilermakers here in the top of the first inning. No hits allowed by Tara Blanco, and Michigan will be coming to bat here in the bottom of the first inning.
Michigan softball brought to you in part
Thank
by
you for
Hillside
listening
Stairs Time
to
Community on
WCBN Sports
1290
coverage of Michigan
WLBY.
softball. My name is Yosef Gross, and welcome you into Alumni Field on a crisp spring afternoon. Temperature hovering around 40 degrees. Some sunlight has streamed in here, and across the way, the men's baseball team is taking on the Delaware Blue Hens in the 3rd game of their matchup. You can just see that over the center field wall. And with the way that Michigan has been hitting lately, would take a pretty big hit, but wouldn't be too surprised if some of these hitters launch some over the center field wall out towards Ray Fisher Stadium. Mentioned for Michigan that winning streak was snapped last week at Iowa on the Friday game of their series. They lost 4-3. Since then, they mercy ruled Detroit Mercy 15-0 for one of their biggest wins of the season, and followed that up with 2 straight wins here this weekend against Purdue. So for Michigan, looking to complete the sweep here against Purdue, it will be Faith Canfield leading off the bottom of the first inning, batting a torrid .415 on the season.
1290 WLBY
6 home runs and 26 RBIs.
Community Advantage Sports and the M-Den. It's the bottom of the first inning. On the mound is Sydney Bates.
On the mound for Purdue is
She
Sydney
pitched in
Bates.
the contest on Friday night. In the game on Friday, she went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs.
This will
3
be
of them
her
earned.
18th
Michigan
start
scored
of
2
the
in the
season.
first,
Pitched
and
78
then 2 more later
innings
on in the
pitched.
game in the 5th.
60 strikeouts to 47 walks.
For the Wolverines in this contest, it's the same batters in the lineup. The lone change is that Carol
If you're wondering, yesterday Faith Canfield went 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs, so has definitely been a lot for the Purdue Boilermakers pitching staff at the top of this lineup.
Get that in a moment. Leading off is Faith Canfield.
And she swings and grounds that first pitch on the ground to the shortstop Hicksenball.
And that's a quick out by the
throws and gets Canfield at first. So 1 pitch, 1 out here to start the bottom of the
game,
first
batting 4 for 6 in this series with 3 runs scored and 2 runs batted in. It was a quick piece of work there.
So that will bring up the number 2 hitter, Natalie Peters. Peters batting
Natalie Peters, number 2
on the
batter
season.
in the Michigan lineup. Peters in this series.
Yesterday went 1 for
2
3
scored, the lefty batter,
with a strikeout and did score a run.
In this contest against
She's
Bates.
batting .309 on the season.
1 for 2 in the contest against Bates the other night.
She swings and slaps that one
over
to deep
towards
left field,
Crisco,
going
the
towards
left
the lines.
fielder,
Crisco
is under it, but she can't catch
ball.
it. Peters is all the way
Peters
over
will
to second base by the time the ball
base
comes
with
back
a double.
in.
That's got to
And the
go as
ball
an
is
error
a
on Crisco
fairly
right there.
routine hit to left field. Crisco
It was
under
a
it. It looked like she was
medium
battling
deep
it with the
right
sun a
there
little
that
bit. The ball was in her glove,
just
popped out, hit
dropped.
the ground.
And so Natalie
And Peters
Peters
never
and
stopped running,
Michigan
was standing on
Wolverines
second
team
base
get a
before the
break
ball
here
even
early
came in.
as they'll have runner in scoring
Shortstop.
position
And
with
so
1 out here in the
error
bottom of the first
allows
inning.
Wolverines to get a runner in scoring position with 1 out, and pitcher Tara Blanco stepping the batter's box.
Nothing too difficult about that
Not
pop
only
fly,
was
just seemed
Blanco
like
excellent
Crisco
in the
couldn't
game
quite squeeze it.
yesterday 3 for 3,
And
but
so
the previous
Peters will be on
contest on
second
Friday
base,
night,
and coming
she
to
went
the bat
2
is
for
the
3.
pitcher Tara
She
Blanco.
is 4 for 6 with, or excuse me, 5 for
And
6
she
with
shows
4
one
runs
and
scored,
pulls it
6
back on
runs
that
batted
first
in
pitch
the
for a
series.
strike.
Takes strike 1, no balls and 1
Count will
strike.
go to 0-1. yesterday, Blanco went 3 for 3 with 4 RBIs.
Bates trying to
and she stands here with Peters out at second base in an RBI situation.
Pretty good base runner. Blanco trying to knock her in for the first run of the game. Here's the 0-1 pitch.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swings and sends that one to deep center field. Going back is Scott at the track. She makes the catch in front of it. Tagging and going to third is Peters. She'll be ahead of the throw.
And so there will be two outs.
Hitting there by Blanco, just missed barreling that one up and sending it out of center field. Scott was able to make the catch, but not able to stop Peters from tagging up and going to third. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning, and coming to bat will be Lou Allen, the cleanup hitter and designated hitter for the Michigan Wolverines, with Peters at third. Bates takes some time to collect her thoughts.
Here's the first
Now's
pitch to
the
Allen.
pitch. That's taken high for ball 1, 1-0.
Ball 1 ball, no strikes. Allen, the Michigan designated hitter, batting .324 on the season, now making her 11th start.
Allen, the freshman, batting .324 on the season with 10 RBIs, looking to get her 11th right here.
Over 6, but she does have an RBI. The runner on third, here's the
Now
1-0 to
Bates'
Allen.
pitch is swung on and grounded weakly on the ground to Bayan. Bayan comes up and throws to first to get Allen in plenty of time. So Bates works around the error from Frisco
Purdue
to strand Peters at third.
On third base.
And
We are
after
scoreless after
the
one.
first
We go to
inning,
the
we are
top of the
scoreless.
second inning with
Purdue
Binks,
0,
Hickson, Ball, and
Michigan
Wagner
0.
getting bat for Purdue. You're listening to Michigan Softball.
Again, thank you for listening to WCPN Sports coming for Michigan Softball as they take on the Purdue Boilermakers here today. So Michigan threatened back there in that first inning, but was unable to do anything. And for a Michigan team that has just been absolutely dominant so far this season, that likely won't be the first threat they have here today. Lou Allen went 0 for 3 yesterday, unable to get that RBI cross again here today. And so it will be Tara Blanco back out to pitch the top of the second inning for Michigan. Yesterday for Michigan, they got some solid pitching as they held Purdue to just 1 run and beat them soundly 11-1.
10.
Out-hit Purdue yesterday 14-5 and hoping to do much of the same here today.
Top of the second
As
inning
for
here,
Purdue, due up leading off the top of the second inning will be Alexa
4, 5, and
Binks.
6 batters are scheduled to bat for
Binks
Purdue.
batting
Leading off will be
.233
Alexa
on the
Binks, the
season.
catcher. 1 for 5 in this series, batting .233 on
Yesterday
the season.
went 1 for 3 from the
Top
plate,
4
putting her
batters,
at
so
1
Baker,
for
who led
5
off, Scott,
on this
Bayan,
weekend's
the other
series
2
so
batters
far
before
against
Binks
Michigan pitching.
have all played in now all 35 games for
Binks
Purdue.
does have some
Baker's
power
got
with
Bayan
2
has
home runs
started all
this season.
35. Binks has played,
Although batters are
started
just
33,
batting
but has played in all
.210 against Tara
35.
Blanco.
For the Wolverines, the only player
steps
playing
into
all
the
of
batter's
games
box,
this season so far,
and
starting
here's the first pitch from Blanco.
Here's the first pitch from Blanco to
It
Binks.
is low
That's
for
low
ball
in the
1.
dirt. Ball 1 ball and no strikes. So in the first inning, it was a 1-2-3 inning for Tara Blanco. There was a strikeout in there. She threw 15 pitches to the first 3 batters of the game. Now her 17th pitch awaits. 1 ball, no strikes.
Now
To
Blanco
catcher
gets
Alexa
ready,
Binks.
and the 1-0
Here's
pitch.
the 1-0 pitch.
Swung
Popped
on
up.
and popped up, but it will
Ball
get out of
sailing
play
into
off to the left
stands.
side.
It's
Count
gonna
opens up
land
at 1-1.
over section 8 out of play. Over actually by the end trailer on the far left field, third base side of Alumni Field. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Pretty
Nobody
decent
out here,
attendance
top of the
here
second inning.
for this early afternoon
No
game
runs
here
are hit
today.
so far in this game, but there's
As
an error
fans
for
coming to see
Purdue.
the
Michigan
Michigan
had a runner on
softball
base
team
to
take
bottom
on
of
the
the first
Purdue
base training.
Boilermakers.
As there's an Easter Bunny sighting here in the stands, handing out
Now
candy
Blanco's
for the fans
1-1
of Alumni
pitch.
Field. Here's the 1-1 to Binks.
Swung on
Swung at
and
a
fouled
low
back to the
pitch. She
screen.
taps it down to the
And
ground
Blanco gets
and
ahead in the
foul
count 1 and
towards
2.
the backstop. 1 ball and 2
Michigan,
strikes.
the Michigan
There is a
softball
post-game
pitching staff
Easter
has
egg
just
for
been
this Easter
absolutely
Sunday
dominant so far this season,
matinee at
leading the
Alumni
Big Ten,
Field.
and with a 1.16 ERA that puts them 9th in
One
the
ball,
country
2 strikes.
overall. And now
Here's the
Blanco's
pitch to
1-2
Binks.
pitch.
That was a little
Just
2
low,
balls, 2
says home
strikes.
plate umpire Steve Gold. And the count will go to
Shouts
2
a
and
word or
2.
two of encouragement to her pitcher Blanco.
Blanco takes a minute to step out behind pitching circle. Now she
Now
steps
ready to
back
reset.
in.
Blanco foot on rubber. Gets her
And
sign
here's
from her
the
catcher
2-2
Katie
pitch.
Alexander. Here is the 2-2 pitch to Binks.
That one's low and bounces in back to the backstop. No swing right there
base with the leadoff batter at the plate
by Alexa Binks, and the count will go full at 3-2.
So Binks in the game yesterday picked up a hit.
So Blanco, who's only walked 19 batters on the season in 57 innings pitched,
one of the few hits that
in danger of walking the leadoff hitter here, Alexa Binks.
5 hits in the game
now
yesterday.
She comes set and
Friday.
3-2 pitch.
Call strike 3. Binks dropped her bat and started to run down.
Binks thought it was a ball. She let her back go, but home plate umpire Steve Gould disagreed. He called her out on strikes, and that's the second strikeout today here for Tara Blanco.
For Purdue was number 5 batter in the lineup, Hallie Hicksonbaugh. 0-for-3
so that will bring up the left-handed batter, Hallie Hicksonbaugh here.
Hicksonbaugh
batting .225 on the season. And she
numbers,
slapped at that first pitch, foul. Actually hit that one right off her shin at home plate. Either way, goes for a foul, and Blanco's ahead in the count 0-1.
What socks with the gray and gold stripes and classic old school.
Hicksonbaugh yesterday went 0-for-2 from the plate with a strikeout.
Gold sleeves underneath there.
Blanco steps on the rubber, and here's her 0-1 pitch.
Here's the 0-1 Hicksonbaugh. At the
is taken high, 1-1.
Strikes the Wolverines in their Sunday maize white pants. Maize jerseys, white pants.
200 down the lines in right and left field here at Alumni Field, and 222 to dead center.
Players in the field.
Dimensions have looked a lot smaller this season as the Michigan softball team has been absolutely dominant. Now the pitch from Blanco is sliced towards the left field line, but over the catch is Richardson for the second out of
very
the top
similar
of the
play to what
second
Natalie Peters hit off of her bat in the bottom
So
of the
up to
first
bat
inning,
now
but that
will
was
be Sienna Wagner, the freshman here for Purdue.
Caught by Richardson.
Wagner 229 on the season.
Number 6 batter in the Purdue lineup, Sienna
Albeit
Wagner.
in limited at bats, this being just her 36th at bat of the season. She did get the start yesterday, going 0-for-2, and in some critical moments with runners in scoring position. And she swings and grounds that one foul on the first pitch.
Wide of Madison Uden at third base. No balls and 1 strike. So in between the innings after that first inning, they had a congratulatory message for the Michigan men's basketball team, and Coach John Beeline put a picture of him on the screen. Of course, nice round of applause from the fans. Did the victors, and remember the softball team joining in there as well. Here's the 0-1 to Wagner.
The 0-1 pitch is swung on and just foul. Michigan catcher right there. Katie Alexander tried to grab it before it went foul, as it would have been an easy play to get Wagner at first base, but was unable to do so. In either case, the count goes to 0-2.
So we have now an upcoming pitch. No balls, 2 strikes.
Gets the sign from Alexander.
On the sign she got from Alexander, she liked this one.
And here's the 0-2 pitch.
Wagner. Take in there,
just
missing. Now that time, like the
Boy, that was not very far from
when
being a call strike 3.
She was going to get a walk. That one, Blanca thought she had a strikeout.
Blanca will have to do it again
starting to go towards the dugout as well, but it was called a ball by the home plate umpire Gould, and we'll instead have a 1-2 pitch.
Set and the 1-2 pitch
coming right here. Swing and
swung on and missed.
So
Blanco getting what she thought was the 4th strike of the at-bat.
Go to the bottom
strikes out. Sienna Wagner right there.
For the Wolverines,
she has retired all 6 Purdue batters in order here to start the game.
12:90
We'll go to the bottom of the second inning. Michigan still locked 0-0 with Purdue.
I did. I caught myself. On
Michigan with those maize tops and white bottoms here today to go along with the blue caps and the white batting helmets. Purdue in their gold and black combination here today. In other news in the sports world for the maize and blue, or the maize and white here today, Michigan basketball team, as everyone knows, defeating the Loyola Ramblers 69-57 yesterday in the Final Four, sending Ann Arbor into a craze. And this Michigan softball team, another team that has been very strong for Michigan athletics so far this year.
That's a pretty funny game they did. Asking the players how to pronounce Michigan cities.
So due up for Michigan here in the bottom of the second inning will be Aiden Falk, Madison Uden, and Haley Hogenrod. They'll be facing Sydney Bates, who worked out of that error.
Bottom of the second inning here at Alumni Field. We are scoreless so far, no hits, but there's an error on Purdue that came in the bottom.
Michigan will be hoping to put some more runners on base this inning and get some across.
Here in the bottom of the second for Michigan. is Aiden Falk. Aiden has been batting
off
in the
now will
6
be
spot the
Aiden
last
Falk,
couple of games for
the
Michigan.
senior batting .337 with 4 homers and 21 RBIs on the season.
5 and dropped Madison Uden, who's 1 for 6 with the
yesterday Falk went 2 for 3 and her 1 out was a strikeout.
So we'll see her next. She is standing on deck, but back-to-back left-handed batters.
The left-handed batter stands in, and here's the first pitch from Sydney Bates.
Here's the first pitch to
Falk. Swung on and shot foul past first base.
Strike 1, no balls.
That will be the first strike on Aiden Falk.
Bates pitched in the game on Friday night. 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, a couple of walks, 4 strikeouts in this game so far. Through 1 inning, she has faced 4 batters. But very limited, only thrown 7 pitches to this point.
Perhaps reassessing what she wants to pitch Falk here.
Falk is ready, so is Bates.
And here's her 0-1 pitch.
Here is the 0-1 pitch. And there's a take,
that's
a little bit
high, 1-1.
Ball and 1 strike.
Falk, not known for having the best eye, has 23 strikeouts on the season and only 4 walks. But a good take right there on a Sydney Bates pitch that was just high right there.
Start for Purdue in 23 appearances. In the game yesterday, went with 3 pitchers.
And here's the 1-1 pitch.
And that
one's in there for a strike. 1 and 2.
1 ball and 2 strikes. It was Caitlin Moody that got the start. Went 2 innings, gave up 4 runs and 5
Falk
hits.
Has a bit
then
of an
Gianna
open
Lopez
stance
came
right
in
there.
and gave up 2 runs on
Looks
4
like she wants to slap that ball either down the left field line or pull it past the first baseman.
2/3, give up 5 hits and 5 runs.
Other
Here's the
side.
1-2 to Falk.
Here she is, and she slaps the shortstop Hickson ball.
She
gathers, she throws,
over to
and
first
she
just
gets
in
Falk
time
at first base.
as it's snagged by Baker.
Falk was getting down that line in a hurry, but a nice play by Hickson ball to charge that grounder and throw it over to Baker, just in time to get Falk.
Michigan's able to run rule Purdue.
So that will bring up Madison Uden, sophomore, who's playing third base here today, batting a torrid .360 on the season.
3 runs across, 11-1 final score. Here's the first pitch to Uden.
And she swings and misses at the first pitch
well
from
ahead of
Bates.
that one. And
Uden yesterday went 1 for 3 with an RBI.
There's a strike, no balls and 1 strike.
When you look at these Michigan softball box scores against Purdue
so far, dropped down
not
a
lot of 0-4.
She has a run scored
Most
and an
players
RBI.
for the Michigan team have gotten on base and gotten on base plenty so far against Purdue.
Over 3 against
now the 0-1 pitch is taken high for a ball, 1-1.
That one's high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Michigan trying to get their first runs across here. We're in the second inning in the game. On Friday, they scored 2 in the first. In the game yesterday, they scored 3
and a lot
in the
of these
first.
Michigan hitters here against today.
Trying to get across here in the second. There is 1 out. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Madison.
Now the 1-1
she fakes
pitch.
the bunt, pulls it back,
She shows bunt and pulls it back just in time with home plate umpire Steve Gold to let that pitch go by for a ball, 2-1.
So once again, a nice crowd out here, and this is what we would call at Alumni Field a third base left field day, where the sun is pretty much shining on the home plate, the area stands
today
behind
against
home
Sydney
plate,
Bates, right-handed pitcher,
wrapping
who
around
has struggled
the left
against
field
lefties so
side.
far this season.
Sections 5, 6,
Bates
7,
comes
8.
set,
Here's
and now the 2-1 pitch. That misses low, 3-1.
Away, I should say, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Bates has struggled with her command, as we
But
mentioned
that third
earlier.
base side is where the sun is
47
shining. The
walks
outfield
on the
as well,
season.
with the sun shining. Here on the first base side, down below us outside, they don't have that benefit.
That's exactly what's happened here to
sun.
Madison Uden, who's worked the count in her favor,
It's definitely
3-1.
chilly, upper 30s here.
Bates will have to be careful here
Michigan.
as she
Softball
steps on the
this side, you
rubber.
have baseball on the other
Gets the
side.
sign from the catcher Binks, and now the
3-1
3-1 pitch.
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss. Just
Fastball
powered
gets by her,
the
3
fastball
balls
right there
and
past
2
Uden.
strikes. So Michigan has an early lead across the way against Delaware.
Couldn't say she was fooled right there, but just couldn't catch up to the fastball of Bates, and so the count will go forward to 3-2.
Friday, and then yesterday before the rain came in. Here, Michigan, of course, took game on Friday and yesterday as well. Both games yesterday moved up to 11
Bates once again gets the sign from Binks.
Did just that.
And now the 3-2 pitch.
Uden swinging and a miss, strike 3.
On and missed.
Madison Uden
Strike
down
3.
swinging, and that is the second.
Well, she couldn't catch up to the fastball on the 3-1 pitch, so Bates gave her the same on the 3-2 pitch, and the same result there for Uden, who goes down swinging.
4 strikeouts in the game.
And that will be Bates' first strikeout here today.
And 61
up to bat now will be the number 7 hitter for the Michigan Wolverines, Haley
Now stepping in the
Hoganrod.
batter's box for the Wolverines. Tall right-handed batter Haley Hoganrod. Here's the first pitch to Haley.
Swings and misses at that first pitch from Bates.
Haley is 1 for 4 this weekend.
Hoganrod batting .308 on the season.
1 for 4.
To go with 10 RBIs and 2 home runs. A lot of power up and down this Michigan lineup.
Now a 2 outs trying to get
and for Sydney Bates, definitely a lot to be careful of pitching against Michigan today.
Here is
Now the 0-1 pitch.
Swing
That
and a
one
miss,
swung on
strike
and
two,
missed.
and that one was
Looked like a high fastball right there. One that
Hoganrod
Hoganrod couldn't quite elevate her hands to get to. And Bates exploiting some of these aggressive Michigan hitters here early.
Moving the ball around left and right, up and down in that strike zone. Trying to keep Michigan on their toes.
Bates gets the sign.
A chance to get a good look at that batting lineup.
Now the 0-2 pitch.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Oh, speed, big swing and a miss.
Had
Hoganrod fooled again.
Looked like she went with the changeup right there, did Bates. And Hoganrod looked like she was expecting the fastball, and she was way out in front of that one. Not even close to getting it, and you can understand it after Bates had given Bates had thrown Wagner, and then
on 1290
after Bates had thrown Hoganrod and Uden previously, 2 fastballs in a row to get swings and misses. She threw the changeup right there, and the off-speed completely fooled Haley Hoganrod, who goes down swinging. So Sydney Bates has looked good through 2 innings here today, and Michigan and Purdue still scoreless through 2. Again, thank you for listening to WCBN Sports of Michigan Softball as they take on the Purdue Boilermakers here today. My name's Yosef Gross, and we come at you live from Alumni Field. So far, a bit of a pitching duel through 2 innings here today as both Tara Blanco and Sydney Bates have looked very good. Well, we expected it from Tara Blanco, who came in today with a 2.05 ERA, but for Sydney Bates, who came in with a 7.01 ERA, welcome surprise for the Purdue Boilermakers, who have struggled to stop Michigan batters all series long. So 2 up for Purdue here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Top of the 3rd inning here at Alumni Field. The Michigan Wolverines back
Stephanie
on
Ramsey,
defense,
Rachel Crisco, and Maya
in a break
Hughes.
with Big Ten Network having their interview with Carol Hutchins.
Bottom third of the lineup will look to get something going against Michigan.
Outside the Michigan
Tara
with a headset. She's
been
staring at a
absolutely
camera
dominant
that's
so
over
far
on the
today,
3rd base side
already
down by
with
the
3
Purdue
strikeouts.
dugout, while the broadcasters are over my right shoulder here. If she just turned around, she could actually look at the broadcasters right in the face. But that's not how they do things here. They have her looking out at that camera down on the 3rd base side for the Michigan Wolverines. Tara Blanco back out there for her 3rd inning of work.
Steve Gould comes out in front of home plate, brushes the dirt off there, and we're ready to go here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Alexander and almost popped behind home plate. Playing first base today with Blanco in the circle.
This will be Stephanie Ramsey's first at-bat of the day here today. The 7-hole hitter is a junior batting .305 on the season with 13 RBIs and 2 home runs.
Madison Uden at 3rd. Here's the first pitch to
She takes that first pitch in there for a strike 0-1. Ramsey yesterday went 0-for-1 with a strikeout.
Purdue, 0-for-4 in this series.
As many of these Purdue hitters have been shut down so far this weekend against a great Michigan pitching staff.
Corey Richardson defensively in left field today.
Blanco comes set. Now the 0-1 pitch.
That
That one swung on and shot down the left field line past the diving. That'll go all the way to the corner. Going to second is Ramsey, and she'll stop there as she has a stand-up double to lead off the top of the 3rd inning.
Ripped down the left field line.
Looked like an inside fastball right there that Ramsey turned on and shot all the way down the left field line. Actually settled all the way in the corner. Richardson had to go all the way into foul ground to collect that one. And by the time she did, Ramsey was into second easily. So Crisco will now have an opportunity to bat with runners in scoring position.
With a run score,
Crisco, the freshman for Purdue, batting just .219 on the season, albeit in just 32 at-bats, as she says bunt on the first pitch and hits it foul 0-1.
Second to 3rd base was Ramsey. Ramsey's going to have to reset as Purdue's trying to
Crisco went
move the runners
1-for-1
over.
yesterday
So a quick conversation
with a walk as
Katie
well.
Alexander comes out
So she has fared somewhat well against Michigan
and
pitching so far.
Back behind home plate.
Although she's just batting .111 on the season with runners in scoring position.
In the background. Now we'll reset. No balls and 1
Now
strike.
here's the
Runner on
0-1
second
pitch
base
from
for
Blanco.
Purdue. Blanco gets her sign. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Bunt put down, and that
Again,
one goes
Crisco
foul
shows
as
bunt,
well.
and
So
she hits
another
it foul.
good
So
pitching
2 bunt attempts
by Tara
and 2
Blanco
foul balls so
forces
far for
Purdue
Crisco's
to
been
put
unable
down
to
a bad
execute
bunt. The bunt goes
so
foul,
far.
and now with 2 strikes, the
So
bunt
Ramsey
is
at second
probably
with no outs here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Options here for Purdue.
Crisco with the count 0-2, looking to at least advance the runner here.
Crisco digs back in.
Blanco gets the sign from Alexander, and here's the 0-2 pitch.
She swings away, takes call, strike 3.
Call.
So 2
Blanco absolutely fooled Crisco there.
Strike 3, and that's an out.
I'm not sure what she was looking for, but that pitch caught the outside corner, and Crisco goes down on 3 pitches for Blanco's 4th strikeout of the day, and we're just through 2 1/3 innings pitched here today.
A lot out in left field or in right field for Purdue, but just as I said,
so
097
that will keep Stephanie Ramsey out at second base.
We saw multiple pinch hitters for her yesterday, both Morgan Cavender and Lexi Huffman, and we also saw Taylor Wollenweber pinch hit for her on Friday. In the game here, it's going to be once again Lexi Huffman, number 25, stepping in yesterday.
With Tara Blanco here, give her the scouting report on the number 9 hitter, Maya Hughes.
So in the meantime, Coach Jen Brundage came out to have a conversation with her starting pitcher, Tara Blanco, and with 1 out, and
Maya Hughes just batting .097 on the season. That translates from a 3 for 31 clip on the season to go with 1 RBI.
Third inning, Purdue has a hit and an error so far in the game. Here's the first pitch to Huffman. She takes, and that one's in there for a call.
And that first pitch is in for a strike. And pardon on that call, that is Lexi Huffman, not Maya Hughes in there. So Lexi Huffman in. She's batting a slightly better 136 on the season.
Junior first baseman from
and 143 with runners in scoring position. Blanco comes set now. The 0-1 pitch.
0-1, and she takes, and that one misses.
That's a little inside. Rules home plate umpire Steve Gould. The count will even up at 1-1. So Huffman with an opportunity to get an RBI
Ramsey
here
on second base.
With Ramsey at second base.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Huffman.
Pitch swung on and laced foul.
Softly.
Ducking was third base coach for Purdue. Just getting out of the way. And now Huffman is down the count 1-2.
Hit off the bat and then landed right near the base of the fence in front of the far end of the Purdue dugout on the third base side. We reset once again, 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's an out, but Purdue has a runner on second base.
Yesterday with a walk. And now the 1-2 pitch from Blanco.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
And a miss.
Fourth strikeout.
Just powered the fastball by Huffman right there. And Huffman just couldn't catch up to it.
And 2 runners are
Ramsey at second base.
Purdue.
So 2 batters have come up for Purdue with a chance to drive Ramsey in after that leadoff double.
Michigan's trying to get done here.
Neither of them have been able to do anything.
Mallory Baker struck out 2 consecutively, and
now has 5 strikeouts on the day.
The runner's on second base. Here's the
first pitch to Baker. The leadoff hitter is grounded to second. Canfield gathers, throws, and gets her at first. So the leadoff double by Stephanie Ramsey does no damage as Tara Blanco is able to work around it.
So we remain scoreless going to the bottom of the third inning.
Going to the bottom of the third, it will be Michigan up to bat. The score remains 0-0.
Michigan scheduled to bat, Alexander Rodriguez, and hopefully more. Listening to Michigan softball.
Stephanie Ramsey got some solid contact on that inside fastball by Tara Blanco, but then her peers were unable to do anything as Rachel Crisco and Lexi Huffman both struck out. Crisco looking and Huffman swinging, and then Mallory Baker shot the first pitch to the right side for a routine play for Faith Canfield. So Tara Blanco, as she's done all season, gets out of the inning and works around trouble using her overpowering stuff. That fastball absolutely looked like the Purdue Boilermakers hitters had no chance of catching up to it. So it'll be Sydney Bates back out for Purdue in the bottom of the third inning, trying to match what Tara Blanco has put up so far. Michigan still without a hit going to the bottom of the third inning. Of course, did have that runner reach second base on error by the left fielder Crisco back in the first. Leading off the inning here in the bottom of the third inning for the Michigan Wolverines will be the catcher, Katie Alexander. Alexander getting some last-minute coaching advice.
Bottom of third inning here at Alumni Field.
Out by the batter's box. Can't quite see who it is as the players have their heavy coats on today if they're not playing and while they're in the dugouts. Said the temperature is only around 38 degrees. Can't really blame them up here in the press box. We've got the window cracked a little. Still a little bit chilly.
You're listening to Michigan Softball on 1290 WLBY, brought to you in part by Hillside Terrace Retirement Community, where their family shares life with your family. Go to hillsideterrace.net to schedule a tour today. Also brought to you in part by Advantage Sports on Stadium Boulevard in Ann Arbor, offering very competitive pricing on their extensive inventory of top-line equipment and apparel.
13 RBIs and 4 home runs.
So another one of those
Michigan hitters who has some power towards the bottom third of the lineup. Alexander went 2 for 2 yesterday with 2 RBIs and a run scored.
Michigan Athletics. Katie Alexander getting ready to step into the batter's box.
She bats right-handed.
Katie in this series 2-5 with the run scored a couple of batted in. It was her game yesterday where she went 2 for 2 with that run scored, 2 RBIs where she really got
pitchers against Katie Alexander,
along with the rest of her
slugging
fellow Wolverines in that
481.
11-1 win over Purdue. Here's the first pitch of
And
the
she
inning.
swings
Katie
and foul
swings at
tips
it and
that
fouls
first
it back
pitch.
towards the screen on the
0-1.
third base side. That is a strike. The ball's 1 strike. Sydney Bates in this game 2 innings, 2 strikeouts. Faced so far 7 batters for
Bates
in
gathers the
Michigan
ball.
lineup.
She'll
Able to drop her ERA down to 6.3.
take a stroll behind the
from its
pitcher's circle.
7-0-1 spot
Now
where
she
it
steps
started.
back in, places her foot
When
on
the
that
before the
pitching
game.
rubber.
Bates
Gets
gave
the
up
sign from
3
her
earned
catcher,
runs,
Dix.
4 total runs in
And
the game
here's the
on
0-1
Friday
pitch.
night, the losing pitcher against Michigan. Here's the 0-1 to Alexander.
That one
Popped up
swung
and
on and
over the
fouled out
stands.
behind the netting.
In fact, into the
and
stands
behind
where it
home
landed
plate.
in section 4.
Alexander's quickly down the count 0-2.
A lot of familiar faces that I'm used to seeing here at Alumni Field. No
Alexander
matter
with
how
19
chilly the
strikeouts
weather
on the
is.
season.
Not
and
today. I've seen
77
a lot of
at-bats,
pictures
so she
from
will
them,
go
in
down
fact, on
swinging.
social
Be
media
the
from
aggressive
down
hitter.
in San Antonio, where it's about 45 degrees warmer, and obviously having a very good time with the basketball program.
Bates has shown that off-speed pitch at times to Michigan batters here today. And
Katie Alexander here's the pitch for Bates.
It's
Ball's
swung
hit hard
on
in
and
right
sent to
center
deep
field.
center
That's going
field.
to go
That one's
towards the
going
wall.
and
Hit
it's
the wall.
off the center
Alexander's
field
going to
ball.
hold up
Alexander
after
will
a
hold
big
at
turn at
first as
The ball hit
Scott
about
collected
halfway
that
up
ball
the wall
quickly
in
and
right
threw it
center
back into
field.
Ramsey
Hard
at
hit
second
ball by
base.
Katie Alexander.
But that's a
And
leadoff
with nobody
single
out,
for Katie
Michigan's leadoff
Alexander
batter
as
with
she
the runner on first
absolutely
base.
barreled up that pitch by Sydney Bates. They had actually hit it too hard.
Not registered
Had
at
a
bat.
line shot off the right center field wall.
Scored a run on Friday night.
Couldn't quite get to second base before Scott threw that ball back to the infield.
She had a strikeout.
So now to bat will be the number 9 hitter for Michigan, Natalia Rodriguez.
On the board here in the bottom of
Rodriguez,
the third.
the
Michigan
lone
threatened
freshman in the
first,
Michigan
Purdue
lineup,
threatened in
batting
third. Now
270
Michigan
on the
trying to get
season.
something going here in the third as well. Here's the first
As
pitch
she
from
shows
Ty.
bunt and
She
pulls
puts
it back
out a
on
hook.
that
Here's the
first
back.
pitch for a ball, ball
No
1.
strikes.
Rodriguez with just 1 RBI on the season and 63 at-bats, being asked to do situational hitting like she is doing now by head coach Carol
Runner at
Hutchins.
first base. Not much of a
Showed
threat,
bunt on
but
that first
you
pitch.
never
Be
quite know.
interesting to see if she does it.
3 this season is
The
still
corner infielders for Purdue almost even.
Here's the one
with
though to
pitcher
Natalia
Bates. Now they
Rodriguez. She puts
charge,
out a bunt and pops
and bunt
it
is
back
shown
towards
again by
the screen.
Rodriguez, and she hits this
That's
one
a
foul,
strike.
1-1.
1 ball and 1 strike. So got a little bit too far under that one. That's not what you want to see when you have those bunt attempts. In that scenario, you definitely want to get that ball knocked into the grounds, and really you're trying to find a gap between everyone charging, and you have 3 people charging right at you. You're still trying to find a gap between them. 1 ball, 1 strike to the freshman Natalia Rodriguez, left-handed batter for
Now
the
here's the
Wolverines.
1-1 pitch.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. He puts the bunt
That
down.
bunt
This
is
one
put down. It goes back to
towards
the pitcher.
Bates, who throws
Bates
over the
her
first,
only plays the
second,
first, which
play
she
down
takes to get
successfully.
Rodriguez.
Katie Alexander
Moving up
easily
to
hits
second on
second
the
base.
play is
So
Katie
covered by
Alexander,
the
and she'll now be in
defense.
scoring
Bain
position
at third,
for
Baker
the
at
top of
first,
the
and
Michigan
Bates, the
lineup.
pitcher,
So
all
job well
charging
done
in.
by
Ball
Rodriguez.
goes to the pitcher Bates, who
And the
throws over
freshman
to first
executed that
with
perfectly
Ramsey
after
covered
fouling
for the
off
out.
that other bunt
So
attempt.
Michigan is able to advance the runner, and now Michigan has a runner in scoring position at second base with
So
this hitter
Faith Canfield, the
setting
junior,
batter's
who's
box.
batting .415,
Faith batting
up
412
here.
on the season, 6 home runs, 26 runs batted in.
grounded out to the shortstop Hickson
Big
ball in her
round out
first
in
at
the
bat.
first inning to lead off the game on the first pitch.
She takes that
the
first pitch
here. That one
a
misses,
little
ball
high for a
So
ball
she
1-0.
now faces as many pitches this inning as she did in the first inning. She was first pitch swinging to start the game. 1 ball, no strikes. Michigan has Katie Alexander at
Canfield's
second
ready to
base.
go.
There's
She's
1
in
out here
her
in the bottom of the
stance.
third inning.
Bates
We're
now
scoreless
ready
at
to go
Alumni
as
Field.
well, and here's the 1-0
Here's the 1-0 to
delivery.
Canfield.
That's
Hard hit to
swung
left
on
field.
and
That
shot
should
to
be a
left
base
field.
hit.
Up with it
Hutch
is
is gonna
Crisco. She
wave.
struggles with the
Katie
ball
all
again
the
and
way
comes
around, and she's
around
gonna
to
score
score
the ball.
easily is
Left
Alexander
field by
in
Crisco,
second.
and the Wolverines
And
lead
RBI single
1-0
right
here
there
at
by
Alumni
Faith
Field.
Canfield as Michigan takes the 1-0 lead in the bottom of the third inning. Looks like Crisco may have had a shot at the plate there if she fields it cleanly, fielded it cleanly, but just couldn't quite come up with the ball as she bobbled it for a minute.
In left field,
And
that allowed
Alexander to score
circle around
easily.
from second base and score.
Be interesting to
Hutch
see
never
how they
really
score that.
hesitated, waved Alexander all the way
But
around.
Canfield gets on base here and keeps the Michigan inning going. Gets the first run across here today.
Natalie reached on a
They do
drop
call it an
fly
error
ball
by the
in
left fielder,
field, standing
Crisco, so
on-
that will be an
on
unearned
second
run
base,
for Sydney
one out
Bates.
in the first, but she was stranded at third base.
Now the
Peters
first
takes.
pitch is taken inside for a
Inside
ball
one
right
no
there
strike. So
by
Peters is the
Peters.
first base runner for the
Natalie
Wolverines.
Peters
She got
now
to
up to
second
bat.
base on that drop.
She reached on
drop ball
another
by
error
Crisco.
by
Had
Rachel
a couple
by
little issues out in left field.
Crisco
early
back
part
in
of
the
this game
first
after
inning.
making a great web gem in the game on Friday night. Crisco struggled a little bit with the glove out there this afternoon.
So Bates, who's still only let up 2 hits on the day, has now allowed an unearned run, aided in part by that error by Crisco. Can't feel that first.
Left on base. Purdue has
already one run across here in the bottom of the third inning.
Here at the bottom of the third,
Michigan
scores.
The 1-0 pitch from Bates.
On the hard hit ball by Faith Canfield. Here's the 1-0 Peters.
Swung on and hit to the second baseman.
Towards the second baseman.
She tags. Canfield running to second. Throws the first. Not in time to get Peters.
Tried to run a little bit wide, but she makes a tag on Canfield.
So a smart play there by Ramsey, who tagged the runner Canfield, but just was unable to turn the double play as the speed of Peters beat that one out.
And with 2 outs, the Wolverines have a runner
so fielder's choice leaves Peters at first base with the third hole hitter, the pitcher Tara Blanco, coming up to bat. Blanco sent a deep shot to Scott in center field back in the first inning, which Riley caught just in front of the warning track. She gets another opportunity here to bat with Peters on first as she takes that first pitch for a strike 0-1.
Good pitch at the hands. The ball's 1 strike.
Important for Purdue's Sydney Bates to limit the damage here in the bottom of the third inning. With the way Tara Blanco is pitching, you don't even know if you can get 1 run across here today.
Blanco waits. Here's the 0-1 pitch. She takes that one.
Blanco takes that one. 0-1 pitch for a strike as well. In the exact same location.
Chest, and that's
right in on her hands, but on the inside corner for a strike. So the count will go to 0-2.
There's the potential that Peters will be Michigan's runner left on base twice so far in this game.
Peters
Blanco
ready to run at first base.
Bring her around. Michigan leads 1-0.
Gets the sign from her catcher Binks. And now the 0-2 pitch.
She takes as Peters
taken for a ball. Peters goes for second base, and the throw by Binks is into center field, and throws to third base easily.
Sliding in safely is Natalie
aggressive
Peters.
base running here by Natalie Peters as she was off for second base. After that, bad throw by Binks to the center fielder Scott. Completely air-mailed the shortstop Hickson-Ball, who was covering. And now runner will be at third base here for Tara Blanco.
With Tara Blanco. You do have a 1-2 count upcoming, but you also have Lou Allen on deck.
There'll be a meeting on the pitching circle here at the Purdue infield as they want to plan out what to do with Tara Blanco. They do have first base open if they so choose, but not sure you would want to walk Tara Blanco to get to the freshman designated hitter Lou Allen, who has been an RBI machine so far this season. Blanco herself, though, with 27 RBIs, has been an absolutely dangerous hitter for this Michigan Wolverines team.
The first insurance run stands at third base. 1-2 up.
So Michigan up 1-0 here in the bottom of the third inning.
How careful are you?
Got a runner at third, and here's the 1-2 pitch to Blanco.
And they're just
high.
2 balls and
count will go to 2-2. Blanco putting that bat out in front of here, and now takes the 2-2 pitch for a ball as well. So the count will go to 3-2.
And they're going to walk Tara Blanco, what looks like. And
so the count is full here with 2 outs. And the payoff pitch is outside as well.
A 1-2 count.
So a walk issued to Tara Blanco here. It looked like after that meeting on the mound, the instructions to Sydney Bates were to pitch around Blanco. Definitely understandable, but a little bit questionable just because they had the count at 1-2 on Blanco. Blanco had taken 2 strikes, and after that meeting on the mound, 3 pitches that weren't exactly very close.
A sweatshirt to put on, so she can stay
a semi-intentional walk issued to Tara Blanco. So it'll be runners at the corners here for the Wolverines as the equipment staff for the Wolverines softball team coming out and giving a sweatshirt to Tara Blanco on first base. It is a little chilly here today, definitely understandable.
The sweatshirt is put on by Tara Blanco, and here we go.
So Blanco with the sweatshirt at first. Natalie Peters, no sweatshirt at third base. And
third base is in
Lou Allen, the cleanup hitter, swings and sends that first pitch into shallow center field. Coming in and making the catch is Crisco to retire the Wolverines in the bottom of the third inning. So the Wolverines get 1 run on 2 hits and 2 errors here in the bottom of the third inning to take the 1-0 lead heading to the top of the 4th inning.
Scheduled to bat for Purdue. You're listening to Michigan Softball.
Again, thank you for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan Softball as they take on the Purdue Boilermakers here today. In that inning, Sydney Bates not getting any help from her left fielder, Rachel Crisco, as Crisco, who previously had an error in this game on a dropped fly ball, bobbled what could have been a play at the plate, instead allowing Katie Alexander, the catcher from Michigan, to score easily, and Michigan to take the 1-0 lead going to the top of the 4th inning. The grounds crew is out here at the Michigan Softball Stadium, Alumni Field. We have dealt with a little bit of rain so far this weekend for Purdue.
Oh, hold on, come back.
Yesterday,
Buddy missed.
The Michigan baseball team had to cancel the second game of their doubleheader due to the rain. Of course, they play on that turf field just across the way at Ray Fisher Stadium. They do have to actually worry about the infield getting a little muddied down here at Alumni Field because they do play with that dirt infield.
Grateful visit from the Easter Bunny here in the press box. Candy being distributed to the members of the media after the candy was distributed to the fans out there as well. We're here at Alumni Field on this Easter Sunday broadcast. 1-0 Easter scored. This is the top of the fourth inning. Tara Blanco back in the circle for Wolverines through 3 innings.
It'll be Tara Blanco back out to pitch here in the top of the fourth inning as expected. Blanco running with 5 strikeouts through 3 innings.
So we are here with a 1-0 score, and stepping into the batter's box for Purdue is Riley Scott.
Scott will swing and slap that ball on shortstop Rodriguez. He gathers, throws, and calmly tosses over to first base to get Scott. So 1 pitch, 1 out here for Tara Blanco in the top of the fourth inning. As this game has moved along quickly so far. Not a lot of hitting going on so far, just Michigan getting across that 1 run in the bottom of the third inning. And that will bring up Jenny Bayen. Bayen 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out to the shortstop Rodriguez in her first at bat.
First pitch is an out to Jenny Bayen.
He takes the first pitch high for a ball 1-0.
Michigan trying to
want to wish all our listeners out there
a
happy Easter on this Easter Sunday. Glad you could join us to take in some Michigan softball.
Here's the 1-0 to Bayen.
1-0 pitch misses low this time, 2-0.
After this, Michigan has a weekday contest, a midweek affair on Wednesday with Eastern here at 4 o'clock. And that right now, as things stand, will be the last matchup. Battle of Washington
Bayen will take her fair share of walks.
Here's 2-0 to Bayen.
14 walks to just 13 strikeouts on the season as she takes this ball up high.
Not on the board.
And the count is 3-0 on Bayen.
Struggling a little bit with Jenny Bayen, the batter for Purdue.
So Blanco, who does not issue many walks, just 19 on the season and none so far today, is using Bayen on 4 pitches here. And now we're 3-0 pitch.
3-0 to Bayen.
That one's in for a strike, 3-1.
Penn State, one of 3 teams in the Big Ten Conference with 1-4 record. Purdue and Ohio State are the other 2.
Blanco.
Before they go to Penn State, they'll have that Battle of Washington County here on Wednesday afternoon. Here's the 3-1 to Bayen, and that one misses
just a little low.
So a 5-pitch walk
to
Bayen, and that's the second
issued
base
to Jenny Bayen
for the Purdue Boilermakers.
Take first base with
brings
1
up
out
the
here in the
number 4 batter
bottom,
in
the
their
top
lap.
of the fourth
Hitters
inning.
Alexa Binks.
So Purdue looking to hit right back after Michigan takes the 1-0 lead in the bottom of the third inning. As a base runner in the form of Bayen at first base, with Alexa Binks coming to bat.
For Tara Blanco,
so struck out looking her first at bat.
Bayen at first base,
swings and pops this one up on the infield.
First base side,
should be playable for Falk, who comes over and makes the catch to get the second out of the inning.
For out number 2, so 1 pitch, 1 swing, and that's out number 2.
So both outs in this inning for Purdue have come on swinging on that first pitch.
Right in that coach's
Bayen, who was very patient in her at bat, worked the count for a walk.
2 outs
but
and
the other
at
2
first
hitters
base.
have not been
That
patient
brings
and have
up
gotten
Hallie
outs
Hitzenbaugh, the
quickly.
shortstop for Purdue.
So it'll be up now to Hallie Hitzenbaugh to try to do something with Bayen here at first base, and she takes the first pitch in there for a strike. Hitzenbaugh flew out to Richardson in left field her first time up.
0 for 1 with a strikeout on
Outfield
Friday.
plays her shallow here, especially Richardson in left field.
She flew out in the second.
As the infielders come in expecting a bunt, and that pitch is taken high for a
A
ball.
little bit high, 1 ball and 1 strike. You hear the cheering in the background here at Alumni Field. Fans trying to stay warm. It's a pretty chilly Easter Sunday here with the wind blowing out from behind home plate out towards center field.
1-1 pitch.
And there's a take, 1 ball and 2
That
strikes.
one's
A nice pitch
the
down the
top
middle
of
by
the strike zone
Tara
there, and the count goes to 1 and 2.
That is a strike.
So
1 ball
Blanco
and 2
looking to
strikes.
set down Purdue here in the top of the fourth inning.
Purdue with their second
After
base
Michigan
runner
took the lead
in the
1-0.
game. 1 of the third
As
down here.
Bayen
1
at first base here,
Michigan
2 outs.
was able
The
to
count
strand
1
that
and 2.
runner in the third inning.
Blanco gets the sign from Alexander. And here's the 1-2 pitch
by Blanco. Off-speed pitch missing. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A little
bit high. The fans wanted that one.
As everyone here at Alumni Field in the maize and blue thought that one was strike 3.
Closer to the neck line than the
Hallie Hicksonball, the shortstop for Purdue, will get another opportunity here.
The letters are where it says Purdue and the Nike.
So Bayonet first, and now the
2-2
pitch. That one slapped up the middle into center field. Peters fields it, throws back in, but Bayon goes to second base on Hallie Hicksonball's 2-out single.
Runners at first and second base. Bayon easily moves up to second.
Good piece of hitting there as that fastball just caught a little bit too much of the plate, enough for Hicksonball to slap it right up the middle with some force and get runners to first and second with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning.
So Ramsey had a hit. Now Hicksonball has a hit.
So Bayon at second, Hicksonball at first, and up to bat is Sienna Wagner.
Friday night, Michigan had 4 runs on 5
Wagner
hits.
struck out swinging in her first at bat, one of the 5 strikeout victims for
the
Purdue
game
here
yesterday
today.
were limited in hitting, but they did get 5 hits and did plate 1 run. Here's the first
She
pitch.
swings and sends that first pitch into left field. Up with
by
Richardson.
Wagner.
She will throw to the plate, and being held at third base is Bayon.
So it's going to be Bayon at
So
third.
a bit of a
Hicksonball at
conservative call
second,
there
and Wagner standing
for
at first
the
base.
Purdue coaching
Purdue
staff,
is
but they
in
do
business.
have the bases juiced here.
And number 19,
With 2 outs in the top of the 4th
Ramsey
inning. Richardson did a good, he was in there just for her defense, actually not in the lineup. Did a good job of fielding that one and sending it back to the infield quickly. And Bayon was forced to stop at third base. But Purdue has the bases loaded here with Bayon at third, Hicksonball at second, and Wagner at first. And coming out to have a chat will be assistant coach Jen Brundage
by Purdue with some good pitching by Tara Blanco.
with Tara Blanco and the catcher Katie Alexander. Perhaps a little bit of game planning going on here.
With
Stephanie Ramsey up to bat. Ramsey, of course, prior to this inning had the sole hit for the Purdue team with that double back in the 3rd inning. Signs given out by the Michigan coaching staff, and actually looks like they will be making
now we're going to have some shuffling. So here comes the freshman phenom lefty Megan Bobian. She's going to come in and replace Tara Blanco.
Blanco will be replaced.
Tara is going to
go. She'll head to first place. So Aiden Falk, that is the day is done for her.
Right field.
As she will go to, she will take a seat in the dugout. We'll get you updated on those other changes here for Michigan. As it looks like Megan Bobian is into pitch for the Michigan Wolverines.
Defensive alignment that we've seen for the previous games so far this season, this series, is where we are going to be.
Looks like Hoganrod will be replaced out in right field as well.
So the freshman phenom Megan Bobian gets her warm-up tosses in. She's getting a couple words of
in for her will be Amanda Vargas.
Well, behind her, infield conversation. Blanco now at first base.
And actually looks like, let's get you some corrections on that. So the outfield conversation is Hoganrod will go around to left field.
Peter stays in center.
Peter stays in center. Falk, who was replaced at first place by Tara Blanco, will switch to the outfield.
Coming right now by
and leaving the game will be
Megan Bobian.
Courtney Richardson.
Hudson's taking no chances. Her team leads 1-0 here in the bottom.
It will be Megan Bobian into pitch for the Michigan Wolverines. Bobian being by far the best pitcher here so far this year for Michigan, with a 1.03 ERA on the season.
Now standing at first base. So
looking normally a starter being brought in here by head coach Carol Hutchins, who wants to take no chances to protect this 1-0 lead here in the top of the 4th inning.
Megan has to put her wristband on to get her signs from, so she looks dugout. Now we're ready to go. Outfield back to where they belong. It's a quick infield
Blanco
huddle.
goes to first, and Bobian in to do the pitching.
Glove bumps, and now here we go. 2 outs. Stephanie Ramsey steps in the batter's box for Purdue to face
her best defensive alignment here.
Megan Bobian came on Friday night, won 7 innings, gave up no hits, had 8 strikeouts. She pitched yesterday 3 innings, a walk, 2 strikeouts, and a hit.
145 strikeouts in just 122 innings pitched. As her first pitch is taken for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
Fastball on the outside corner.
Bobian, the left-handed pitcher, will be facing the right-handed batting Stephanie Ramsey. And perhaps what factored to that decision was that Ramsey did line that double off the center field wall first at bat, as Bobian's second pitch is swung on the ground to the first baseman. Blanco, she'll take it easily to first for the putout, and Bobian comes in, gets Michigan out of the bases loaded jam,
and that is out number 3.
Keeps their 1-0
runners on base. It's going to bring up 5, 6,
so Purdue
7
unable to do anything strands the bases loaded, and going to the bottom of the fourth inning, Michigan will be coming to bat, still leading 1-0.
By the end then on 1290 WLB1.
Michigan and Delaware have tied up at 1.
So Michigan going with Megan Bobian right there, the freshman phenom who has been absolutely amazing so far this season, gets Michigan out of a jam after Tara Blanco, who looked pretty good through 3 innings pitched, loaded the bases with 2 outs right there, and went over to first base so Bobian could come in. And Bobian did her job for Carol Hutchins and the Michigan Wolverines as he induced a weak ground to the first baseman Tara Blanco to get Michigan out of the inning.
Tomorrow night. So she's like, my wife now is like freaking out about it. She's like, you know,
earlier in the season.
I'm flying home Thursday.
Partners just across the way, the Michigan baseball team working on a 13-game win streak right now as they face the University of Delaware Blue Hens to try to complete the series sweep. For Michigan, the schedule looks like this after today. On Wednesday, they will take on Eastern Michigan at home, followed by
remains 1-0 here at Alumni Field. Purdue threatened the top of the 4th inning. They had the bases loaded, but there were 2 outs.
The Friday, Saturday, and Sunday
series next weekend, that
being a key Big Ten matchup, although Penn State has been struggling much like Purdue in the Big Ten so far.
So it's 1-0 here with Aiden Fox stepping in against
now
Sydney
we'll head
Bates
to the bottom of the 4th inning as the first pitch by Sydney Bates misses low, ball 1.
Aiden in the 2nd inning grounded out to the shortstop for Purdue, Hallie Hixenbaugh.
It will be Aiden Falk up to bat. Ground out to short her first time up.
Trying to add to their 1-0 lead. 1 run, 2 hits for the Wolverines. No runs, 3 hits, 3 errors for Purdue.
Hutchins hoping that Michigan can get some insurance runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Here's
and
the
now
1-0
pitch is low as well, 2-0.
Again, 1 ball, 2 balls, and no strikes. That one a little higher up, not in the dirt, but still a little bit too far
Michigan
outside.
Saw how precarious that 1-0 lead is last inning when
umpire Steve
the bases were loaded with Purdue with no outs, and Megan Bobian came into the game to rescue the Wolverines.
Now here we
now
go.
Looking
2
to add
balls,
on a run
Here's
here.
The pitch to Aiden Falk.
And
off-speed
the
pitch.
2-0 pitch is taken for a strike, 2-1.
So a nice off-speed pitch by Bates, and that gets Falk just kind of waiting for her pitch, so she takes that 1 strike 1, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Falk, who is a patient hitter, has worked the count to 2-1. And now Bates' pitch swung on and hit foul down the left field line. Over to get it is Kenny, and she can't quite get it.
Not quite able to catch up to it as the ball was doing some weird things.
Emily Kenny, who came in to replace Rachel Crisco, perhaps due to those errors that Crisco made
from the third base
past
dugout
few
out
innings,
towards
just couldn't quite get over to make that catch and foul ground.
Crisco gave chase, but that was
Falk will stay alive here at the count of 2-2.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Crisco's had a few issues out in the outfield in this game. So far
get you those other defensive replacements for Purdue as well, as Maya Hughes now in right field.
2-2 pitch.
Now the 2-2 pitch is low. Good block there by Binks, but Falk was not swinging, so the count goes to 3-2.
Michigan has a 3-2 count up coming down. A leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 4th inning, Aiden Falk. Standing in the on-deck circles, Madison Uden, Haley Hoganrod bats after that.
So Falk, who only has 4 walks on the season, though she will see her fair share of pitches, has worked the count full here.
RBI
and now the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled back
over the screen and out of
actually ricocheted off the screen and came back almost to the pitcher, Sydney Bates, as if Falk saying, "Oh, let's go again here at 3-2."
Bates comes off
and
the
they
rubber.
will again as the freshman Bates will be
on
delivering
the right
a
side of
pitch to the senior
Aiden
Aiden
on the
Falk.
left side. Here we go. Payoff pitch upcoming once again.
Payoff
3-2 pitch.
Swung on and hit
base
past the
for
diving second baseman
Falk.
Stephanie Ramsey
1 for
into
2
center
now in the
field.
game for Aiden.
And a leadoff hit here for
has a
Aiden
leadoff
Falk.
single to center field here in the
Bottom
4th
of the
inning.
4th inning for Michigan Wolverines.
Carol Hutchins made signals over, and we're going to have a pinch runner. First, Bonnie Thole gives a high five to Aiden Falk, and now out of the dugout for the Wolverines is Nikki Wall to pinch run at first base.
And that will be it for Aiden Falk. We'll head back into the dugout, a pinch runner here as Nikki Wall, the senior, will come in to pitch run for Aiden
The
Falk.
batter's box first is going to be Madison
looking for some speed here on the bases. They already wreaked havoc earlier as Natalie Peters the center fielder with some speed, was able to steal second base, and Biggs actually air-mailed her throw into center field, which brought Peters all the way to third. Wasn't able to score in the end, as Sydney Bates has been excellent here today. But Carol Hutchins hoping to put some more pressure on the Purdue defense. Now it will be Newton up to bat. Struck out swinging her first time up. She swings and fouls that one back to the screen, 0-1.
No balls in the strike.
Newton batting .355 on the season. Even after that, 0-for-1 here today. Bats and 400 with runners on base.
After the game on this Easter Sunday, there will be an Easter egg hunt here at Alumni Field for the kids. A little bit of a chilly day, but there are definitely kids in attendance looking forward to the post-game festivities. No balls, 1 strike. Bottom of the 4th inning, 1-0 is your score. Michigan has the lead.
Walled at first, and now the 0-1 pitch is bunted towards the third baseman.
Picked up by third baseman.
She throws, and Bayan is able to retire. Newton at first, but Wald is moving up to second on the play, and now stands in scoring position with just 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Madison Uden does what she
head
wants,
coach Carol Hutchins clearly valuing that insurance run, as she's willing to sacrifice Uden here to get the runner into scoring position.
I think that's the conversation right now that Bonnie Tholes having with her. But Haley Hoganrod is going to step in the batter's box with a runner in scoring position, trying to get Michigan the second runner.
Is now up to bat. Hoganrod, who switched around to left field, started the day in right field. Struck out swinging her first at bat.
Runners on base and 269 with runners in scoring position. Overall, batting 304 on the season.
Swings and misses at that first pitch. Some nice off-speed pitch there by
got in the second inning, and she had a couple of pitches in that at-bat.
Nikki Wald is out at second base with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Michigan looking to add on to its precarious 1-0 lead.
Had a good eye on the ball in the game.
Haley Hoganrod up to bat. Bats .269 with runners in scoring position, a little bit below her regular clip of 304.
Now against Purdue. 0-1 pitch.
She shows bunt on the second pitch, but can't quite hit it, and the count will go to 0-2.
Wald's going to have to track back to second base, and Carol Hutchins is going to have some more words of encouragement for her sophomore batter
so
here.
1 out here. Nikki Wald at second base. Haley Hoganrod up to bat. And count is 0-2 on her. As Sydney Bates has gone to that off-speed pitch a lot of times here when she's up on those Michigan hitters. And now her pitch. That one is airmail past the catcher, Alexa Binks, and going to third easily.
Michigan's second run,
Nikki Wald.
60 feet away.
So not quite sure what happened there. It looks like perhaps an off-speed pitch by Bates that she just lost control of. Went way over the head of the catcher, Alexa Binks.
Make a catch on that one. The ball
would have needed some serious jumping abilities to catch that one.
Nikki Wald, and now Michigan has
so at third base is Wald.
#2 run of the game for them.
And the count goes to 1-2.
But we do have a 1-2 count coming to Haley Hoganrod. Bates gets her sign, checks her wristband.
Bates gets the sign for Binks, and
now
the 1-2
to Hoganrod on speed.
That one's way outside a lunging grab by Binks.
Nearly another
just to keep Wald at
remember
third.
From the game on Friday night, Michigan scored 2 runs in the first inning, both on wild pitches by Bates. They also had a run score on back-to-back wild pitches yesterday, where
so Sydney Bates losing a little bit of her control here, as she's been pretty excellent through 3 1/3 innings pitch. The only run against her was unearned because of Rachel
Now at third base.
Chris
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch.
Drop in left field. This pitch is taken outside by Hoganrod, and she's worth the count full with 3-2.
That time, and that forces a big upcoming payoff pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes with them out here in the bottom of the 4th.
So Michigan with a runner at third, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning, trying to add on to their 1-0 lead.
More than likely going to have a chance here to help
count
Michigan.
Is full at 3-2. Bates.
Here's the payoff pitch.
Payoff pitch.
Swing and a miss, strike
on
three.
And missed. Just powered the fastball by Haley Hoganrod, who couldn't catch up.
Down.
And she keeps Nikki Wald at third here for the Purdue Boilermakers.
She struck out once yesterday as well, so 3 strikeouts.
A great pitch right there by Sydney Bates.
And that's going to bring
2 previous pitches had not been anywhere close. Just said, you know what, I'm going to throw this one. It's going to hit the plate, and I'm going to get it past Haley Hoganrod. And that's exactly what she did right there. So now to bat will be Katie Alexander.
The third inning to add to her
hit a
solid
line drive to center for a single back in the 3rd inning. Alexander rests the bat on her shoulder and doesn't offer at that first pitch, which is in there for a strike 0-1.
No balls and a strike. Couple words of encouragement from her infielders for Bates. Now Bates picks up the rosin bag, throws it back down, gets her sign, checks her wristband.
Bates checks her wristband for the sign.
With 2 outs,
now
runner
places her
ball
right
to third
foot on
base
the
for the
pitching
Wolverines. Alexander awaits a
And
pitch.
here's her 0-1 pitch.
Here's the 0-1. Popped
Swung
up.
on and popped up
Tailing
down the
towards
left field line
Christian's
and
going
foul
to foul
ground. Going
territory.
over is
She
Kenny,
fights
and
it, but
she
she
makes
catches
the
this one at
catch
foul ground, and that's out number
to
3.
retire
So
Katie
Wolverines
Alexander
stranded
and
another
to end
runner
the
at
threat for
third base.
Michigan
They still
here
lead the
in
game
the
1-0.
bottom of the 4th inning.
We go to the top of the 5th inning.
So one hit
Where
there
it's
for
going to be
Michigan in the 3rd inning
8-9-1.
was
Kenny Hughes Baker's
Aiden Fox.
back
She
for
was
Purdue.
pitch run for by Nikki
on
Alexander.
1290
Advanced to
Ann Arbor.
second on the sacrifice bunt by Madison Uden, but back-to-back outs by Haley Hoganrod and Katie Alexander leave her at third base. And Purdue, Sydney Bates, who has been excellent here today, keeps the score at 1-0, heading to the top of the 5th inning. So a bit of a pitcher's duel here today, as Sydney Bates had gone toe-to-toe with Tara Blanco, not helped in part by her defense, especially Rachel Crisco, who gave up that unearned run on a bobble in left field. Tara Blanco was replaced last inning by Megan Bobian, who came in to record a bases-loaded out with 2 outs to get Michigan out of that inning, and she'll come back out to the hill for the top of the 5th inning. Pretty nice view here from Alumni Field, just beyond center field and past the baseball field. Nice view of the University of Michigan campus. You can see actually the end of the law library down past
Back
the
to
left
Alumni
center
Field,
field wall.
top of the 5th inning.
Towards center field, you can see
1-0 is the score. Michigan has
Boston
1 run. They
business
came in the 3rd inning. They have
off
3 hits.
past Yost
Purdue
on the
has
right
3
side.
hits and 3
You can
errors.
see more towards the hill.
Purdue
area
and
of the
Michigan
campus.
both have 4 runners left
So
on base.
The pitch for Michigan
here
on this
we
crisp
start the
spring afternoon
top of the
will
5th
be
inning
Megan
with number
Bobian to
18,
face the
Emily
leadoff hitter
Kenny.
Emily
She
Kenny.
came
Kenny came in as a defensive replacement, a la suit,
Crisco
for
in left
Rachel
field.
Crisco,
And
who had
Kenny
2
is gonna
errors for
step
the
in
Purdue
batter's box for her
Boilermakers.
first game, her first at bat.
And this will be
In fact,
Emily
her
Kenny's first at bat here
second
today.
plate appearance of the
She came in as a defensive replacement yesterday as
first
well.
plate appearance of the weekend, but her second appearance of the weekend. First that one from Bobian misses.
And the
low
first
away
pitch from
ball
Bobian
one.
misses low,
Kenny
1-0.
came in late in the game yesterday and played some defense for Purdue. So for the Michigan Wolverines, the starting pitcher was Tara Blanco.
And she
There's a
swings
1-0,
and fouls that
and
one back to
foul
the
back
backstop.
screen,
And the count evens up at 1-1.
3 2/3 innings, 3
Bobian,
hits, 1 walk,
let's
5
get you some more
strikeouts.
stats on her
But
for
in the
Michigan.
bottom
She's
of-
been
or the
absolutely
top of the
dominant
4th
this
inning,
season. We mentioned the
Purdue had the bases
145
loaded, so
strikeouts.
Hutch went to
That goes
Megan
with just
Bobian, who so far has
26
pitched
walks.
a third of an inning and
The freshman has
faced
been
just 1 batter and
absolutely
recorded out.
outstanding for Michigan.
Here's the 1-1
As she
pitch.
winds
That
and
ball's
fires,
grounded
and this
to
one's grounded
Rodriguez,
sharply on the
who
ground.
gobbles
Rodriguez
that hard
gathers,
hit.
throws,
Ground
and
ball,
gets
throws
Kenny
it
at
over
first
to
base.
the out.
A nice play there by Rodriguez, who
Rodriguez
actually fielded that one on the short hop. Not an easy play on this infield.
And a nice snare in the glove
After
by
she
the
fielded
shortstop.
it, had plenty of time to get Kenny at first.
And we have 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning.
So that will bring up Maya Hughes.
And Maya Hughes scheduled to bat, but it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter here. I think it's going to be Morgan
Hughes, who came in as a defensive replacement.
Don't deceive me. Cavender
Will actually
made
be
appearance.
pinch hit here
was 0
for as
1
well
on
by
Friday.
Morgan
Made
Cavender.
appearance, was 0 for 1
Cavender,
with a
the senior
strikeout
outfielder
yesterday,
as
so
well.
she is 0 for 2 this series, and she's making her 3rd pinch hit appearance against the
Morgan
Wolverines.
Cavender pinch hit yesterday, but was unable to get on
So we've
base.
gotten pretty used to seeing this now out of Maya Hughes. She's played a lot of defense for Purdue,
She
but not
struck
a lot
out
of
swinging
times to the plate.
and takes that first
Fastball
pitch
low away,
outside
ball
1-0.
1 ball, and no
So Maya
strikes.
Hughes not getting a chance to bat here, more of a defensive replacement for the Purdue Boilermakers.
Hughes
Purdue will turn to Morgan Cavender here, looking for some
0 for 1
offense
in
in the
this
top
game.
of the 5th inning.
Oh, sorry, in this series.
Hard to get any offense against
And has
Megan
not had
Bobian,
a
though,
plate
who
appearance.
delivers that
1-0
pitch
pitch
high,
misses, 2
2-0.
balls and no strikes. So kind of unusual to see a starting position player, in this case, a starting
has
right fielder,
A
who's in
whip,
the
which
batting
is
lineup. Not
walks
get a whole lot
and
of
hits
at-bats,
per
but
inning
that's been the
pitch of
case for Purdue
0.639,
with Maya Hughes.
meaning that she lets
Here's
just
the
about
2
more
to
than
Cavender.
half a
Swing
runner
and a
on
miss. She
base
was well
per
in front
inning.
of that foul, well
As she
behind that
delivers that
fastball.
one, which is
2
swung
balls
on
and
and
1
missed by
strike. Bobian
Cavender,
blew that
2-1.
one by her.
So
2 balls, 1 strike, 1
that
out.
means that you get about 1 runner on base per every 2
We've
innings
seen a lot of nice
against
glove
Megan
work out of
Bobian.
Rodriguez at shortstop.
And that's been the
Weekend.
case so
2-1
far
pitch,
against Purdue
low
here
and away,
today.
check swing.
As that pitch
It
is
appeals,
outside,
it does
check
not
swing
go. Good call by
by
the first
Cavender,
base
appeal to first
umpire,
base.
Tanya
No,
Garrett.
says home plate
Of
umpire.
course,
Says
Tanya
first base
Rodriguez
umpire
coming in
Tanya Garrett.
to replace
So the count is 3-1 here on
a side of
Cavender.
that position where Michigan had not really worried about who was going to play shortstop
Right after
for 4 years.
Talking about how her whip
And
is so low as she
seems
delivers
like
that
they're
one and
pretty
swung
comfortable
on.
hands now.
Action.
Freshman there as well.
Is in danger of walking Morgan Cavender
Abby
here.
Ramirez over the last few years. Sue Romero, even before that, before they flipped from second, put their short and second.
Count will now go full on Morgan
Romo and Abby these last
1 out
years.
here at the top of the 5th.
Really locked things
Here's the
down.
payoff
Here's
pitch.
to Cavender.
Swung on and fouled towards the
screen
screen off to the right side.
Remained full, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Just a bit of a defensive swing there by Cavender.
Bringing a freshman,
Recognizing just the velocity that Megan Bobian has. All she could do was foul that one off to the right side and live to fight another day.
Offensively,
Bobian checks the pitch on her armband, comes set, and the
3-2
full count. Swung on and fouled off to the right side again. That one actually hits off the roof of the press box here at Alumni Field and trickled back towards the parking lot.
Cavender really battling here in this pinch hit opportunity. Moving out here to top of the 5th inning, Michigan leads Purdue 1-0.
In her first at-bat today is giving Bobian something to
3-2
fight
pitch,
against
checks
as
her
she
swing.
checks on the 3-2 appeal to first.
Not go, and that's
no, says Tanya Garrigan for the second time in this at-bat. And Cavender will be aboard with a 1-out walk.
That's a 1-out walk issued by Megan Bobian, and we get to the top of the lineup.
So Bobian issues just her 27th walk of the season.
Now 0 for 6, or 0 for 8.
Does not issue many walks at all.
She's trying to have a breakthrough hit. Michigan trying to get out of this inning.
That will put a runner at first here for Purdue. As Baker comes to bat, takes that first pitch low, ball 1.
Throw on first base, but no throwback easily as Cavender standing at first base. Cavender, no stolen base attempts this season. She has scored 1 run, and now here comes Carol Hutchins to have a conversation with her freshman pitcher.
There'll be a meeting on the mound now as Megan Bobian is joined by catcher Katie Alexander and head coach Carol Hutchins, who just wants to give maybe some words of encouragement to pitcher Megan Bobian here.
Very one-way
conversation. Stats,
a lot of
you
nods
seem to forget that she's actually a
freshman
freshman. So
also have a couple
still
of
learning a little
conversations
bit of
Madison
how to deal with these
Natalie
high-pressure situations, and this one definitely high-pressure here. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Purdue has runner at first. Michigan trying to protect just a 1-0 lead.
Wind blowing pretty hard out here at Alumni Field. Temperature in the upper 30s. Conversation in the circle is over, and then a high five and a glove bump, and Katie Alexander goes back behind home plate. We'll resume 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out here, top of the 5th inning. We'll go back where they belong. Blockwood first, Canfield second.
Carol Hutchins goes back to the first base third. Alexander resumes her position behind home plate, and here's Bobian's 1-0 pitch. That's it on the inside corner for a strike, 1-1.
I think a lot of the words that come to your pitcher are put the ball over the plate. You're going to blow by most of them, and sometimes your defense just needs to make some plays. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here is the pitch to Baker. Swing and a miss. Fastball
wow.
Blown by Baker.
Just
strike 2, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Powered that one past Baker. Mallory wasn't even close to catching up to that one. Looked like she barely even started her swing before that one was in the glove of Alexander.
Struck out and grounded
now
out
the 1-2 pitch is swung on and slapped on the ground to third baseman. She bobbles, gathers, and throws to first.
Number 2.
That bobble sort of eliminated the possibility of going to second to get Cavender, but she was still able to get Baker at first, so there will be 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning.
That gives Michigan their second out, but Cavender for Purdue does move up to second base. To Bobian.
And now it'll be Riley Scott up to bat.
Now gets a sign from home plate from the dugout. Checks her wristband.
Scott 0 for 2 on the day with 2 groundouts. Looking to drive in the runner on second base here as she shows bunt, and Fowler tips it on the first pitch, 0-1.
Foul ball, strike 1. Cavender standing on second base. Riley Scott 0 for 2. She grounded out to the pitcher in the first
inning.
Megan Bobian
after that mound visit by Carol Hutchins and her catcher Katie Alexander looking very aggressive here against the Purdue hitters.
In the game,
and that's what you like to see when you have a pitcher like Megan Bobian, who just has absolutely dominant stuff.
Back after that foul ball.
Against a team like Purdue, who's 8th at 26 on the season, has struggled to hit in key situations and just want to attack them. Don't give them anything extra. This one is slap foul towards the Purdue dugout, and the count is quickly 0-2 on Scott.
Is Jenny Bain, the on-deck batter for Purdue,
and I believe they're actually going to call that a foul bunt attempt, and that will be it right there.
And out number 3. It looked like she's
the 3rd out of the inning right there.
Call that an out for
against Riley Scott
for Purdue.
Don't quite know about that call, but that's what it is right now. So Michigan gets out of the inning right there with Morgan Cavender.
Foul ball, but instead the umpire called the inning over. So
Morgan Cavender,
the threat is over.
At second base. Everyone in the press box a little bit confused by that call. Looked like she slapped at it and hit it foul, but they actually called it a foul bunt attempt.
90 WLBY.
So that is going to be a strikeout right there for Megan Bobian, and the 3rd out of the inning. No complaints really by the Purdue team, although if I was them, I would be absolutely furious right now. So Michigan keeps the 1-0 lead intact. So Michigan keeps their 1-0 lead going to the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 up for Michigan will be Rodriguez, Canfield, and Peters here.
Ten seconds.
So Rodriguez up to bat for Michigan after they escaped that inning with Morgan Cavender stranded at second base.
And so Cavender's going to stay and play right field for Purdue. The official ruling was that the batter's foot was out of the batter's box when she made contact with that ball. And so that means she is out.
Correction right there on what actually happened last inning. Everyone a little bit confused up here in the press box. They finally sorted out. The call by home plate umpire Steve Gould was that
her foot was not that
Scott hit the ball,
I'm not sure how with the way the
she hit it when her foot was outside the batter's box, so that is called an out. An automatic out by softball rules.
And no strike.
As the first pitch into Rodriguez is in there for a ball 1-0.
Bottom of the 5th inning, in that case,
so home plate umpire Steve Gould with a pretty big call there with a runner at second base.
The home plate
gets
umpire
Michigan out of the inning.
The batter's foot was out of the batter's box, and that's the end of the inning.
And so the 1-0 pitch to Rodriguez.
And Rodriguez
is a little bit low, and Bates is down to the count 2-0.
Every once in a while, you're up here,
that
kind of at
of Scott
we don't have
was outside of the boundaries of the batter's box, and therefore when she made contact with the ball, it's an automatic out. A bit of a curious call there, especially because the lines are very faded here at Alumni Field. Can't really see him as that pitch misses low 3-0. So
Michigan looking for a leadoff
the home plate
walk
umpire with the call that absolutely shapes the.
They had a big inning in the game yesterday, right around this time.
Here today,
scoring 4 runs in the 5th inning to end the game.
Get out of that inning actually in favor of Michigan. The home team getting a little bit of a benefit here today, though the Purdue players shouldn't really complain.
They did have a big inning earlier in the week.
As that pitch is in there just a little low, and it'll be a 4-pitch walk to Rodriguez to start off the bottom of the 5th inning.
Michigan had an 11-run inning. Michigan probably could have scored more in the 5th inning yesterday.
So Rodriguez will take the trot down to first on a 4-pitch walk issued by Sidney Bates.
Rodriguez takes that lead off.
That will bring up the top of the lineup here for Michigan Wolverines and Faith Canfield.
Standing in the batter's box, Michigan's leading hitter, batting
Canfield 1 for 2 on the day, singled in her last at bat.
Would love to help Michigan add to their lead. First pitch to
she takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a strike 0-1.
1 for 2 in the game. She grounded.
So a call that you don't see get called very often.
In the 3rd.
It goes in favor of the Michigan Wolverines, and Megan Bobian will set down 2 consecutive hitters after allowing that 1-out walk. Now the 0-1 pitch from Bates misses high, 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike. So in the 3rd inning,
she went with the off-speed pitch right there. Was trying to induce the swing by Canfield, but you have to locate it a little bit closer to the plate in order to get Canfield swinging. That's a pretty easy take for a hitter like Canfield if it's going to be up around your eyeballs.
Rodriguez is the runner at first base.
And now the 1-1 pitch.
The 1-1 pitch.
Swung on and grounded over the head of the third baseman, Bayan. Rodriguez will go to second,
Hickson ball is able to pick it
up,
Canfield will
but not until Rodriguez, as Bayan, the third baseman, jumped,
that was a hard hit
just
ball
barely got her glove on it as it trickled into the left field foul ground.
As she jumped up trying to make a grab.
Definitely not near there. We'll see how they score it, but Bayan, very tough play right there.
Ball and it's going to be. It's going to allow Michigan to have runners at first and second.
Michigan with something cooking here at the bottom of the 5th inning. Runners at first and second.
That was a hard hit ball.
And coming to bat will be Natalie Peters.
They're going to announce.
Indeed, they call that a single, not an error. So a single by Canfield has runners at first and second.
Up Natalie Peters with runners
the first pitch to
second.
Peters is taken on the inside corner for a strike 0-1.
Balls and 1 strike. Peters reached on an error in the 1st inning, was eventually stranded at 3rd base.
Peters reached on that error by Rachel Crisco back in the 1st inning, and had a fielder's choice back in the 3rd, where she actually made it all the way around to 3rd base on a steal and a throwing error by the catcher Alexa Binks. But Tara Blanco could not drive her in.
For Purdue is ready to go. Here's the 0-1 Natalie Peters. She takes And that one's in there.
That's inside as well for a strike 0-2.
From Bates to Peters, and we have an 0-2 count upcoming for the Michigan center fielder.
So Natalie Peters, no outs here, down the count 0-2. Canfield at first, Rodriguez at second.
The ball's 2 strikes,
Bates
no outs.
checks her
Michigan has
armband
2
for the
base runners
side.
on. They'd love to add to their 1-0 lead.
Steps on the pitching rubber, and her 0-2 pitch.
Here's the 0-2. Rodriguez
swung on and
Peters
slaps
at it
over
and hits it at the top of section
backstop
7
right there.
and nearly caught by 2 different fans. The ball eventually drops into the bleachers, but that fan will return the ball to an event staff member. No balls and 2 strikes. Count remains the same after that foul ball.
So Bates, who just has 3 strikeouts here today, desperately needs one right here to keep Michigan from adding on to their 1-0 total.
Easter Sunday softball here at Alumni Field.
And
Here's the 0-2
0-2
Natalie
pitch.
Peters. She takes low
That's
away one
low.
ball.
Good take right there by Peters.
Easter
So the count
Sunday
goes to
baseball
1-2.
across the way at the Fish, where that score is 1-1. Michigan and Delaware. Michigan took the first 2 games of that series. It's 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th across the way. Quick pace, low scoring game over there at the
Bates
Fish
taking
here
her
at
time
Alumni
now
Field.
with
A
runners
quick,
at first and
low-scoring
second,
pace as
slowing
well.
it down
1-0
just a
the
bit.
score.
Wants to make
The
sure she
Michigan
makes the
threatening. They have runners
perfect
at
pitch
first and
here.
second with nobody
The
out
count
in the
in her
bottom
favor,
of the 5th.
1-2.
Here's the 1-2
And
pitch
here is
to
her
Peters.
pitch.
She
Swung on
grounds
and
it
slapped
into
on the ground to the
slapped
pitcher
into
Bates.
the
She
ground.
comes up throwing and
Picked up by the
not
pitcher.
in time
Bates
at first
safe on the
base.
throw over the
Peters
first.
beats it out for an
beat that one down
infield
the line.
single,
A
and
very
the
close
bases
play,
are
but an
loaded.
infield single by Michigan has the bases loaded for Tara
A
Blanco.
really softly hit ball back to the pitcher Bates,
And that's
who had
gonna
to
bring
go
out
off of the pitching circle to her first
the
base side. By the
Oliveira
time
for a
she scooped it
conversation
through,
with the home plate
couldn't
umpire.
quite get it over
It was
to
a really
Baker
close
in
call, a close play at first base.
time to
Bang,
retire.
bang play goes in Michigan's
So
favor.
Peters is on with
And
an
now
infield single,
Michigan
showing some
is
of her
in
speed.
business with the
Her
bases
speed right
loaded
there.
and Tara Blanco at the
It'll be
plate.
her at first,
It's Rodriguez
Canfield
at
at second,
third,
and Rodriguez
Canfield
at third.
second. Peters at first. Good base runners and excellent hitting for the Wolverines here in this scenario. This is not where Purdue wanted to
Head
be.
coach Carol Hutchins for the
Bates
Wolverines,
struggled
giving her
a
runners
couple
some
of different
encouragement.
times in the game on
Giving
Friday.
Michigan dugout some encouragement as well. As fans are fired up now here at Alumni Field, hoping to add on to that 1-0 lead.
Now Michigan threatening to add insurance runs to their 1-0 lead.
Up to bat
No
will
runs
be
across yet here
Tara
in the bottom
Blanco,
of the 5th, but the bases
RBI
loaded with
machine for the
nobody out.
Wolverines with 27
Here's
on
the
the
first
season.
pitch to Tara Blanco.
And she
Hard
swings and hits that one deep to right field.
That's
It's going
in.
in!
A Blanco blast grand slam.
Grand slam,
5-0
Tara Blanco.
Wolverines.
As she takes the long trot around the bases. Mom seen at home plate as she comes around third base. A huge shot by Tara Blanco. She was swinging on the first pitch by Sydney Bates and blows this game wide open.
Blew this game open 5-0, and Michigan now within 3 runs of a run rule game, which is what we saw happen in the game yesterday afternoon. 4 runs
Tara
across
Blanco
from that
comes
grand
up,
slam by
says, you
Tara
know what,
Blanco.
I'll get my 28th, 29th, 30, and 31st RBI on the season, as she hit it way out to right field. Outfielders barely moved for Purdue. Morgan Cavender, the right fielder, just turned and looked at that one as it was set into about the 6th or 7th row of the stands. And Sydney Bates' first pitch is swung on and sent to deep center field. Going back is Scott. She can't make the catch. Going for second is Allen. She will get it with the head first.
And that's a double with nobody out, and Michigan threatening to really blow this game wide open. It's
now
5-0, and now we have a runner at second base.
The pitcher Sydney Bates, who had
And
looked
that's going
pretty
to bring
good
out
through 4 innings pitched.
coaches for
Has let up
conversations.
4 runs in the 5th
See if
inning
we
so
get a pitching
far.
change here for Purdue, or if
And
it's a conversation.
Looks like there will be a pitching
Rudy
change,
Oliveira.
or at
Let's
least
have
a long
conversation with
discussion on the
pitcher
mound
and catcher.
now.
That's Bates and
As
Bing.
Sydney
And
Bates
then an
may
all-infield
be done.
conversation. Baker Ramsey kicks the ball and Van with Dorian Shaw, the Michigan product that is an assistant coach for Purdue.
And Lou Allen, with that double, her day will be done. She'll be pinch run out at second base by Taze Gonzalez, the sophomore.
Lou Allen,
So Michigan head coach Carol Hutchins smelling the 8-run mercy rule right here.
5-0 is the score.
If Michigan can go up 8-0 here, get just 3 more runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, that will do it here today against
Big
Purdue with
inning.
that
Michigan
mercy
looks for
rule
at least one of
in
those
college
in every game
softball.
if they can get it. They didn't quite explode with those in the first game of the series. They
And
scored
up to
2 in the
bat
first and 2 in
will
the
be
5th
8
on
and
Friday.
fall
They
for
tried a
Michigan.
little more yesterday. They had 3 in the
She's 1
first
for 2 on the day.
and 4 to end the
And
game
looks like
in the
Sydney
5th,
Bates
along
will
with
be
1
staying in
second.
there. So it's
Two
just some
31
words of
for the fourth.
encouragement by
They
the
probably had
Purdue
more
coaching
in there
staff.
in that 5th inning, but the game was
As it
over.
will now be Gonzalez out at second base.
Nothing is the score.
And big inning here for Purdue to
Batter's
stay in the
box,
game
she
as that one
swings
is
a
swung
big
on and
cut,
laced
fouls
back.
that one back at the screen. No
Big
balls,
cut
no
there
one
by
strike.
Falk.
Michigan batters
Trying to get 3
starting to
runs
feel
in
it
one
right. Now
swing.
Purdue has some action out in their bullpen. Madison Uden on deck. Michigan 3 runs
Michigan
away
being
from a
aggressive
run
in this
game
inning,
here at
swinging on the
Alumni
first
Field.
pitches from Sidney Bates, and it's paid off with Tara Blanco hitting that first
Big
pitch
blast
grand slam.
Right
And right
field,
after
and
her,
a
the
hard hit
first
ball by
pitch
Lou Allen
double
to center
hit
field,
into center field by Lou Allen.
Just a shade towards
Now
the
the
right side of
0-1
center
pitch,
field. 0-1 pitch
that
misses outside.
one's a
One
little
ball.
bit high, 1-1. Outfielders for Purdue getting some ball practice here in this inning, but nothing they can really catch. More just picking up the ball and throwing it back to the infield, or in the case of Morgan Cavendish, turning it, watching a fireworks show as Tara Blanco smashed that one over the right field wall. This one is swung and missed at a very high fastball.
There's a 1-1 pitch, was not the miss. Big cut. The pitch was more
like halfway
eyes,
through that swing. Falk realized that she shouldn't be swinging at that ball. Tried to hold up, then realized, oh, it's too late. Might as well finish the swing. And the count goes to 1-2.
With the pinch runner, Thais Gonzalez, standing at second base. So here's the 1-2 to Aiden.
Gonzalez at second, and the 1-2 pitch is low, 2-2.
Quickly over to second base as the shortstop Hickson ball covering, forcing Thais Gonzalez to get back to the bag quickly.
So Bates,
2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody
four
out.
innings, has let up 4 runs on that grand slam here in the
Aiden
bottom
Falk
of the
is
5th
batter.
inning.
Gonzalez is the pinch runner for the Wolverines, second base.
Now tries to regain her composure. Comes set, and the 2-2 pitch.
Here's the 2-2 to Aiden Falk.
He swung on and popped up on the infield.
Shortstop
should be an
Hickson
easy play for
moves
Hickson,
out
who retreats into shallow left field and
shallow
makes
left
the
field
catch.
grass, and she catches it for out number
So
1.
one out here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
By Aiden
As
Falk,
Bates
out number 1. That
finally
brings up
hits that
Madison
first
Houston.
out after
Wolverines
loading
now
the
lead
bases
5-0.
and then promptly clearing
5
them.
runs on
was
7
Tara
hits. 4 of
Blanco.
those 5 runs so far here in the here in the 5th inning. No runs, 3 hits.
And now up to bat will be Madison Uden for the Michigan Wolverines. The third baseman struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning and put a sacrifice bunt down in the 4th.
So is the pitcher Bates. Gonzalez is ready at second base.
She swings and laces that first pitch down the right field line. It gets down just fair inside the right field wall. Hude's going for second. Going for Haynes Gonzalez. She's going to score easily. And an RBI double for Madison Uden. Michigan up 6-0 now as they play the fight song "Hail to the Victors" here at Alumni Field.
We see Haley Hogan
and "Hail to the Victors" indeed. It's looking like as Michigan all but ensuring victory now, just 2 runs away from Mercy
with Madison Uden standing on second base. But it's also going to bring a pitching change for the Purdue Boilermakers. 6 runs on 8 hits now for the Michigan Wolverines.
Again, we
and
want
the
to
runner
thank
on
you for
second base
listening
is
to
also the
WCBN
responsibility of
Sports
Sidney Bates.
broadcast.
But in the meantime,
Michigan
it's a new
softball
pitcher
here
for
today. My
Purdue.
name's Yosef Gross, and Michigan softball
Michigan trying
absolutely
to end this
putting on
one
an
here
offensive
in this,
clinic here
the
at the bottom of the 5th
inning.
inning, doing everything right. And that will be the last pitch of the game for Sidney Bates, as she is taken out of the game. And in the pitch now will be Caitlin Moody.
4 runs, all of them earned 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. And now her second piece of work for the weekend here against Michigan is here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Moody got the loss yesterday, pitched 2 innings, allowed 4 earned runs on 5 hits and 3 walks, got 3 strikeouts as well.
WWI, we're brought to you
So
by
it will be up
Hillside
to
Terrace
Moody
Retirement
to
Community,
try
where
to
their
keep
family
Purdue
shares
on the
life with
field
your
here.
family. Go to hillsideterrace.net to schedule a tour today. We're brought to you by Advantage Sports on Stadium Boulevard in Ann Arbor, offering very competitive pricing on their extensive inventory of top-line equipment and apparel for baseball, softball, football,
Michigan
lacrosse, ice
softball
hockey,
looking to end the game right here,
Go to
as you can tell they smell it.
and by the
experienced
Emden,
team
the
like this
official
Michigan
outfitter,
softball
Sports Talk 10,
team, an extremely talented one,
and the official merchandise
you
retailer
know
of
that
Michigan
they know
Athletics.
when
Make
the
sure to
other
check out
team
all of their
is on the
all-star line of
ropes, and
baseball
that's exactly
softball
what's
gear
happening
all
here.
season long, available at Ray Fisher Stadium and right here at Alumni Field, and always online at Emden.
As pitch hitting for the Wolverines right here will be Alex
Pinch hitter
Subject.
for the Wolverines against Caitlin Moody. Subject batting
The junior is in to
291
face
on the season.
Caitlin Moody.
Subject 0 for 1 in the
And
game
she
yesterday.
takes that
The
first
pitch
pitch low for a
in
ball,
the dirt,
1-0.
bouncing before the plate, and that's ball 1. So
On the
Purdue is
season,
Binks
Subtract
behind the
is
plate,
batting
Baker at first, Ramsey
.291
second, Hickson ball at short, Bay in at third,
to go.
Kenny and Lutz, Scott in center,
With 14
and Kavner in
RBIs.
right. Here's the
That pitch
1-0
bounces
to
away
Subcheck. It
from
gets,
the catcher
low
Binks,
into
and
the
up to
gets
third will
behind
go
the
Uden.
catcher Binks, and that's going to
So
allow
it's all
Michigan's
falling apart
runner
for Purdue right now.
Uden to get
Started
to
with that
third
grand
base.
slam by Blanco,
And
which
things are
just seemed to
going
let the
all
gates
kinds
flow
of
through.
ways for
Since
Michigan
then,
right now.
Michigan put up a
The score
run
is
on that
6-0,
double by Uden,
and a
who's
runner
now at
standing
third
at
on that
third
wild
base.
pitch by Moody. And if Purdue doesn't gather themselves soon, this game could be over.
1 in the third, 5 in the fifth. We continue here in the fifth inning
here's
with the
Moody's
2-0
2-0
count. The
pitch.
subject off-speed pitch
That's
is in
an
there for a
off-speed
called
pitch
strike
in there
one.
for a strike 2-1.
Michigan really battled
pitch
to
right
get
there
that
by
first
Moody.
run in the third inning, and they had a few opportunities. They've left 4 runners on base, and they had a few chances here and there, but they were only able to plate that 1 run in the third. You just kind of expected that breakthrough to happen. It's happened here in the fifth. Here is
now
the
that
2-1
pitch
subject, and that one's in there.
catches the outside
corner,
corner, says home plate umpire Steve Gould. The count will even up at 2-2. So good job by Moody to fight back in the count.
Game here. Purdue wants to keep it going and
As
say they have to have a
still
rally
has yet
in
to
them.
lift the bat off of
Megan
her shoulder.
Bobian, however, the freshman phenom is
Now she rests it
strong,
there, and the 2-2 pitch
subject
misses
in the
low,
dirt
bounced
on
in
the
as
off-speed
well.
pitch.
So the count will go full
Full
3-2.
3 balls and 2 strikes to the junior utility player for the Wolverines.
When Moody misses low, she really misses low, as all 3 of her pitches that have been
Subject
balls
out of
have
Mercy High
bounced
School,
in
out of
there.
Bloomfield,
That one
Michigan.
just bouncing right in front of the catcher, Binks, who
Awaits a
made a nice
3-2
stop.
pitch.
But the runner at
Moody
third
back
could
in
come
the
into play.
circle on the mound. She
Now the
gets
payoff
3-2
pitch.
Swung on
Swing
into
and a
the dirt,
miss.
strike 3. Throw it over to first base.
As the throw down to
out
first
complete
base
the
will
strikeout
retire
as the catcher
Subjack, who
makes
swung
it.
at
Now
that one in the
2
dirt as
outs
well.
for the Wolverines.
And now 2 outs for Michigan.
And the runner, Uden, standing on third base. That's going to bring up Katie
So
Alexander
Uden
for
stays
the
at third.
Wolverines.
Up to bat is Katie Alexander. Alexander 1 for 2 on the day. Got a single back in
The
that
high school
third inning.
product is about to step in the batter's box.
Could end it right here with a 2-run shot.
Katie
And she
singled
does
to
have
center
4 home
field
runs on the
third inning,
season.
and she fouled out in the 4th. So 0 for 1 here or 1 for 2 in this game. 3 for 7 on the series. First pitch to
Takes
Katie
that
is
first
and
pitch
inside,
low for a ball 1-0.
no strikes. Michigan looking for 2 more runs to end
Katie
this one
Alexander has had some
We're
long
looking to
at-bats
send
here
it to the top of
today,
the 6th inning.
working that second at-bat where she actually ended up getting
One
a
of those 2 runs that
fielder's
Michigan
choice,
needs is standing
or a
on
fly
third base
ball
in the
out to
former
the left
Madison Uday.
fielder at that time was an error for Rachel
On deck,
Pisco.
Natalia Rodriguez. Here's
So
the
she has
1-0
been patient
to
here today
Alexander
as she takes
off-speed
that ball
pitch.
low.
And that one is
2-0.
low as the ball drops out just drops out, and it's crosses the plate well below the knees, more across the lower part of the shins for Katie. 2 balls, no strikes, but there are now 2 outs. Michigan this inning,
2 outs,
5
runner
runs
at
on
third.
5
That's
hits.
Madison.
They've had their way with the Purdue pitching in
Caitlin
this
Moody
inning,
trying
but
to
until
get
this point,
Purdue
Purdue
out of
been
this
pretty
inning,
good
still in the ball
in the
game.
circle.
Katie
Starting
Alexander
pitcher
at
Sydney
the
Bates
plate.
did a good
And
job
here's the
through
2-0 pitch.
Off-speed pitch. That one.
Off-speed pitch
This is
misses
3 balls
just
in there, a little
low.
low and away.
Count will go to 3-0.
So again, Bates very strong through 4 innings. It's this 5th inning that's really gotten to her. As the sun has gone away for the first time, all in the behind the clouds now.
Flags blowing
All
out
of a sudden,
to
slightly
center
chillier
field.
here
A
at
little
the
bit
fish.
of a breeze
Or,
helping the
Alumni
Wolverines
Field.
batters right now
And
as
slightly
that
chillier
pitch
as the
misses
pitch crossed
high.
away as well.
And a 4-pitch
4th
walk
pitch
issued
to Alexander. Misses
Katie
ball first,
Alexander,
so
and
4-pitch
runners at
walk
the
with
corners
Alexander
now.
First, and Natalia Rodriguez
For
is gonna be
Rodriguez,
sent
who will
back
bat
into the
for
batter
the
in
second
the,
time this inning, and before she
into
can,
the
she's
dugout,
called
and
back
Abby
to the
Sparks.
dugout, and pitch hitting for her
The Wolverines is going to step into the
will
batter's
be
box.
Abby Sparse.
Abby batting .333 on the season. Limited opportunity. She's made 2 starts. This is her 17th appearance. She has 6 hits and 18 at-bats.
So
7
to Abby right
in.
here to
A
end
nice
the
solid
game here for
5
the
from
Michigan
6
Wolverines. If she
percentage.
can knock those 2 runners on base
Giving her
around,
a few
the
signs
8-run
of,
rule will do
words
it
of
here in
encouragement.
the bottom of the 5th
See what
inning. Of
Abby
course, the rule is
Sparks
that
can do
if
here for the Wolverines.
team leads by 8
Having a
runs after
6-0
the end
lead,
of
6
5,
runs
the
on 8
game is
hits.
called,
They're
and that's what
looking for 2
Michigan's
more to
trying
end
to
the
do
game
right
here at the
here.
bottom of the 5th. Purdue trying to extend
Abby
it. We'll see
batting
what happens.
.364 on
Here
the
comes the
season,
first
runners
pitch
in
from
scoring
Moody
position.
Tavars.
As she takes
And
that
that is
first pitch
low and
low for
away.
a ball
Ball
1-0.
1 ball and no strikes.
So Moody walked Katie Alexander there, and we did see that she struggles with her commands at times, issuing 3 walks yesterday in just 2 innings pitched.
A more significant run than you would normally think
Now
in
she
a
takes a
6-0
step
game,
out
but
behind the
she
pitching
represents
circle,
at
comes
first base
back
the
in,
game-ending
gets
run.
the sign,
Here's
and her
the
1-0
Tavars.
pitch
That
is
ball
high for a ball
2 balls
2-0.
and no strikes.
So
And the
Moody
last thing
losing
Purdue
her
wants to
command a
do
little bit
is
here,
walk
and that
Abby
will prompt a
Sparks
mound visit
and put
by
the
the
bases
catcher Alexa
loaded
Biggs.
for leadoff hitter Faith Canfield, the ever dangerous .421 batting Faith Canfield. Canfield 2 for 3 in
Definitely
this
don't
game.
want to walk the bases loaded here for Faith Canfield
6 for
because that
9
absolutely
in this
could be the
series.
game. Canfield 2 for 3 on the day here today. And Michigan overall on the day batting 4 for 11 with runners in scoring position.
Long time between pitches here. Moody now gets your signs. Kavaris is ready as well with running
Now
the corner.
Moody comes
She's
set. The 2-0 pitch is swung
grounded
on
up
and
the
bounced
middle.
for the
That's
second
gonna be
baseman.
gobbled
She
by
takes
the
it herself to the
second
bag, and that will
Ramsey.
get
She tosses
Purdue
over
out
the
of
shortstop,
the inning.
picks it ball
But a
40
long
out.
inning it
So
was,
that is
as
going to be out number 3.
5 runs
Michigan
given up
scores.
on 5
runs
hits.
on 5
The
hits.
big
They
blow
lead
coming in the
6-0
form
to
of
go to
that
the top of the
grand
second inning,
slam
where
by Tara
Bain,
Blanco.
Banks, and Hickson are scheduled to bat for Purdue. You listen to Michigan softball, brought to you in part by
Blanco
EMDen.
blowing this game wide open for Michigan, and a 6-0 lead with Megan Bobian on the mound. You can basically call a ball game at this point if you're a Michigan Wolverines fan for Megan Bobian. However, the Purdue softball team will be looking to bounce back. Bobian has shown at times during today's game that she has lost her command a little. Earlier in the game, prompted a visit by head coach Carol Hutchins, but since then, Bobian has been attacking hitters.
How's your experience here?
So some changes to announce for you for the Michigan defensive alignment, and we'll get you those as soon as they're all sorted out. Staying in at shortstop will be Natalia Rodriguez. At third is still in Uden. Blanco, of course, went over to first. She'll remain there with Canfield at second and Alexander behind the plate.
So after being pinch hit for Natalia Rodriguez returns to shortstop for the Michigan
In the
Wolverines.
outfield,
So
it will be
it is
Falk
their
in right
defensive
field.
alignment we've seen
Peters
for the
will
last
stay
few innings
in
since Megan Bobian
center,
came into the
and
game.
still in left field is Haley
Hogan.
Hogan. So Rodriguez stays in the game at
Bobian
short
in the
after
circle,
being
Katie
pinch hit
Alexander
for.
behind the plate, Blanco at first, Canfield at second,
And
Rodriguez at short, Uden at third, Hogan on
Michigan's
left,
Megan
Peters in center,
Bobian still on the mound here.
right. For the Purdue Boilermakers, they find themselves now down
Allowed just
6-0.
one base runner
This
in
game
one
was
of the
close
third
until the
innings
bottom of
pitched
the
so
fifth,
far
where
today.
Michigan
That
just
wasn't
scored
the form
5
of that
runs
ball.
to take the 6
But when
run
you have
lead.
such
So now
gaudy
getting top of
stats
the
like
sixth
Megan
inning,
Bobian,
the
that
middle
actually
lineup for
bumps
Purdue
him
is
up
going
a
to try
little.
to etch away at the Wolverine lead. Here's the
And
first
here's
pitch
her
to
first
Jenny
pitch.
Bain.
Is grounded on the
Grounds it
shortstop to
too hot.
Rodriguez. She
Over
gobbles
the
it up,
shortstop.
throws, and
Rodriguez
low,
throws it into
and
the dirt.
gets past
Now,
the
good
first
backup by
baseman,
Katie
Blanco.
Alexander.
Backing
So
her
the
up
ball
was
does not
Alexander,
allow
so
Bain to
staying
get
at first
to
will be
second
Bain.
base,
But that will be an error charged to Natalia Rodriguez.
Said some nice things about her defensively. She makes a throwing error there, and that's a leadoff base runner for the Purdue Boilermakers.
So Rodriguez's error puts Bain on at first, and now up to bat will be Alexa Binks, the catcher. She's 0 for 2 on the day, struck out looking back in the second inning.
Alexa Binks
That
is the
pitch is
batter
taken
for Purdue.
low
She
for
takes
a
low
ball,
away,
1-0 on
Binks in this game struck out
Binks.
looking in the second inning, and she fouled out in the fourth. She's 0 for 2. The 3 hits for Purdue in this game came from their 5, 6, and 7 batters. Sixenball, Wagner, and Ramsey. Those are the next 3 batters due to hit. Here's the 1-0 to Binks. That ball's hit
first
hard,
pitch is
third
slap,
base side,
that
and
second
foul.
pitch is slap
Ball,
foul
1 strike.
past the third base bag into the left field corner. Count will go to 1-1.
One ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. There's a runner at first base for
And the
Purdue and
1-1
Bain.
pitch
The 1-1 pitch misses.
is high for a ball,
2
2-1.
strike. Megan Bobian looking for maybe a letters call there, but
So Bobian just missed
she will
on that
reset.
pitch.
She checks the dugout, gets
She
the
has to work
sign,
around the error by Rodriguez to start
checks
off
her
the top of the
wristband, and now
6th
the
inning.
southpaw for the Wolverines is ready to go. Here's a 2-1 from Bobian.
And
Swing
a
and a miss.
swing and a
Another
miss on
nice
that
fastball by
2-1
Megan
pitch
Bobian.
right there, and that'll
She
even up
has
the
some
count
of
at
the
2-2.
nicest fastball heat you're going to
Just
see
zoomed
in
that
college
fastball
softball.
right
Just
by
a freshman.
Alexa
Michigan
Binks.
looking forward to seeing that develop itself over the next few years. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Michigan trying to strand Bain at first base. There are no outs so far here for Purdue. Here's a 2-2 to Bain. There's the first out.
Swung on and
Strikeout.
missed.
Balls drop, but with the runner at first base, there is
And that's
no
going
need
to be the
throw.
first out of
base
the
is
inning
not open.
as
And that is
Megan
a strikeout for
Bobian
Megan Bobian, the first one she's recorded in
absolutely
this game.
threw some gas right there that got by Alexa Binks.
She recorded 2
Could not
yesterday
really
and 8
swing in time
on
to hit that
Friday,
one.
so that is the 11th strikeout
So
she's
Bobian
recorded against Purdue
showcasing some
this
of her
weekend
stuff
with
right
1
there.
out, and the runner
As she
Bain
gets
at
the first
base.
out on a
That brings
strikeout
up
here in the
number
top
1,
of the
Hallie
6th inning.
Hickson-Ball.
Quickly
She
delivers her
slaps at
first
it,
pitch
and
to
that
Hallie
one's gonna be
Hickson-Ball,
foul
and that
off
one
the screen
slap
above
fouled on
the
the left
Purdue
field
dugout.
by
Strike 1,
0-1.
the balls and 1 strike.
Hickson-Ball on the day is 1 for 2, singled in her last at-bat in the 4th inning.
The ball's 1 strike, 1 out.
She bats left-handed here against the left-handed pitching Megan Bobian.
Hickson ball flew out in the
0-1
second
pitch
inning.
is high for a ball, 1-1.
That one misses ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
So big inning here for Purdue.
Hickson ball was one of those 3 hits
only
for
been trailing
Purdue.
1-0 for much of this game.
Let
Let up that grand slam and that
third
RBI
batter
double in the
from
5th
now.
inning to put a 5
Here's
spot
the
on the board.
1-1
Now
to
trail
Hickson ball.
6-0
He takes
as
that one to
Bobby
net.
that
This
Hickson
game
ball
had a
up.
chance to
Critical for
maybe
Purdue that
chip
they at
away
least
Michigan
get something in
6-0
this
lead.
inning to stay relatively close to Michigan.
But for the most part, Purdue has been held fairly
1-2
hitless for much
pitch.
of the weekend. 1-2, just
A little
2
high,
balls and
said
2
Steve
strikes.
Gold, the home plate umpire. And Bobian will do it again at
We're
2-2.
trying to make quick work here, but slowing down just a little bit, adjusting her sleeves and her wristband.
Bain at first. Hickson ball at the plate. A 2-2 count here with 1 out in
2
the top
balls,
of the
2
6th inning.
strikes.
And here's the pitch.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
And a miss.
So another strikeout for Megan
2
Bobian.
strikeouts in a row for Megan
Second of the
Bobian,
game, 12th of the
who is
weekend.
absolutely dominating
And
these
the
Purdue
Wolverines
hitters.
have 2 outs now with Purdue with a runner
So
at
that
third
will bring
base.
up Sienna Wagner right
That's
here.
147
Wagner
on the
1 for 2 on the day. Struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning.
And she is going to
And she will be
very quickly start rising up that home run, that strikeout
Purdue's
tally for amongst Michigan pitchers.
4th hitter in this inning against Megan
Now
Bobian.
Sienna Wagner set the batter's box.
Takes
She
that
steps
first
high
pitch
and
way
inside. The
high,
ball
ball
gets away
1.
from Katie Alexander, but just by a foot or so. So, of course, Jenny Ritter, the pitcher for Michigan's championship team back in the mid-2000s, is doing TV for Big Ten Network, and she'll see her numbers.
So
Megan
Wagner,
Bobian climb after
who's
those
1 for
numbers
2 on the day,
in our
batting
park.
200 on the
Here's the
season
1-0
with
to
runners
Wagner.
on and 2 outs.
That one's on the
Takes
outside
that
corner of
pitch
the
on
plate.
the
Strike
outside
1, 1
corner,
ball,
1
1
and
strike.
right.
So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. The runner.
And right now the
at third
strategy
base
against
is
Megan
Bain
Bobian has
for
to
the
be for
Purdue
these Purdue
Boilermakers.
hitters just
Wagner just
to
struck out in the
work the
second,
count
single
deep.
in the 4th.
because
Trying to keep this
you're
inning
not
going
really
for
getting
Purdue.
anything to
Here's
hit
the
early in
off-speed
these at-bats as she
pitch, 1-1.
swings and
Bobian
misses
really
an
pulled the
off-speed
string on
pitch
that one.
that
That's
completely
strike 2.
fooled her.
I remember having preseason conversations at media
Looks
day
like she
with
was
softball
way out in
with
front
a
of
couple
that,
batters.
just rotated the
And they
hips and the
talked about
shoulders
it.
right
I think it was
across,
Faye
didn't stay
Canfield.
compact on that
And
one
even
as,
talked as
at
well.
all.
Really
As she
talked
now
about
finds
that
herself down the
changeup.
count 1 and 2. And
1
here
ball,
is
2
Bobian's
strikes for
pitch.
Wagner. Swing and a miss on a fastball,
strike
strike 3.
3.
When Bobian is changing
Bobian
speeds
strikes
like
out
that, she
3
is
batters in a
absolutely
row for
unhittable.
Purdue after the
Side
error
is
by
now retired.
Rodriguez,
Score remains
and
6-0
strands
as we go to
Bain
the
at
bottom of the
first.
6th
Michigan
inning for the
still
Wolverines.
leads 6-0,
It's gonna be the top
heading
of
to the
lineup.
bottom of the
Canfield,
6th
Peter
inning.
Blanco and more. You're listening to the Michigan Wolverine coverage of softball on 1290 WLBY.
Megan Bobian with absolutely filthy stuff right there, just attacking the Purdue hitters with her fastball. And you have to think of that off-speed pitch that she threw to Sienna Wagner for that to get the count to 1 and 2, completely set her up for the fastball there on the 1-2 count. Because what happened was that Wagner was way out in front of that 1-1 pitch, swinging and missing at that one. And then when it got to 1 and 2, perhaps was sitting on the off-speed pitch, and Bobian didn't go with that at all. Went with her fastest fastball, and Wagner had no chance of catching up to it. So Bobian, in tandem with the first pitcher of the day, Tara Blanco for the Michigan Wolverines, has held this Purdue lineup to just 3 hits. Michigan on the other side has 8 hits on the day, with 5 of them coming back in their last time up in the 5th inning. They'll look to do some more damage now as we start off the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 up first for Michigan will be the top of the order in Faith Canfield. Canfield is 2 for 3 on the day with 2 singles.
It's top of the lineup due to bat for the Michigan Wolverines. They're trying to close things out. It's the bottom of the 6th inning here. They lead 6-0. Either they score 2 runs here or they go to the top of the 7th and try to close it out there. But Michigan has an opportunity here with the top of the lineup facing Caitlin Moody. Sydney Baines was the starting pitcher for Purdue, just like she was on Friday.
She's worked 2/3 of innings pitched so far today. Has not given up an earned run.
4 to 30 inning of work, 8 hits, 6
As
runs.
all the runs in charge today were to Tara Blanco, except for that one unearned run. So Tara Blanco gave up 5 runs today.
Here's the first pitch to Faith
As the
Canfield.
first pitch is just a little outside for a ball 1-0.
Michigan 4-0 victors on Friday, 11-1 victors yesterday. They lead 6-0 here, trying to end this one and improve their record to 4-1 in Big Ten play and 28-7 overall. Here's the
1-0 pitch.
Outside,
that one's high and outside for a ball, 2-0 to Canfield. Moody stepping out behind the pitching rubber.
Canfield
checks her side and now steps back in.
Michigan Sluggers ready to go.
Delivers
Here
the 2-0
Moody
pitch.
with the pitch.
That one's in there just outside. Looked pretty good, but from our view up here in the press box, but not so. Says home plate umpire Steve Gould.
In general.
And the count will go to 3-0 on Canfield.
Terrific. Peters has been very good as well. This part of the lineup can be very daunting for a pitcher to face. Here's the 3-0 to Canfield.
Now 3-0 pitch, nowhere close to. Oh, it is a strike. Says home plate umpire Steve Gould. Canfield had already thrown the bat. Was a third of the way down the line to first base, but she'll have to pick it up and step back into the batter's box here. As Carol Hutchins having some words with Steve Gould. Not really liking that call there.
Here's the 3-1 to Canfield. That ball grounded into the ground.
Up with it is
Hickson ball short, and that's going to be an out. So a 2 bounce for the Hickson ball by Canfield is an out.
Canfield is the first out of the bottom of the 6th inning. After Hutchins, who's still not pleased with that call, still having some words over there with Steve Gould from her position by the third base coaching box.
Blanco on deck. She would love another opportunity here. She already has a grand slam in this one.
Not really understanding it. It's definitely her frustration is definitely understandable. That pitch,
of course, drove in 4
definitely a little low and outside. But as it is, Canfield bounces out to short, and now up will be Natalie Peters, who takes that pitch high for ball 1.
Misses high, ball 1, 1 ball, and no strikes. 6 runs on 8 hits and an error for the Wolverines. No runs, 3 hits, 3 errors.
And now there will be a
for
trip
Purdue,
to the mound by the Purdue infield and their head coach.
We're coming out and have a conversation with Banks and
Moody.
Looks like
perhaps some words of encouragement, some
pitcher.
Wise words about the scouting report on Natalie Peters, who's 1 for 3 on the day. Of course, reached on that error back in the first inning. That one completed the damage, though. The later bobble by Rachel Crisco let the first run of this game score. Then Peters singled back in the 5th inning and came around to score on the slow trot off that booming shot by Tara Blanco.
Stanford, and I don't have this a spot that'll potentially pop back in my head. But now a young, early on in her coaching career, and obviously a lot of young coaches out there. Actually, we'll see one here on Wednesday.
Getting that
Eastern Michigan comes in here, the final scheduled game, the Battle of Washington County.
Now steps back onto the pitch.
That program has been slated to be cut. Sarah Driesinga, former Michigan pitcher, is a volunteer coach.
Here's her 1-0 pitch.
The 1-0 to Peters.
That one bounces in, not even close to a 0. That one had to bounce at least 4 to 5 feet in front of home plate. A good block right there by Alexa Biggs.
In the short term.
And Caitlin Moody will have to once again go back. And she will have to be more aggressive here against the Michigan Wolverines hitters, falling behind in these counts. As that pitch misses inside as well, 3-0. She went down the count 3-0 on Faith Canfield as well. Got the benefit of a call on the 3-0 pitch there, was able to induce a ground out after that. But again, falling behind 3-0 here on Natalie Peters.
Count upcoming. Here is the 3-0
pitch.
And there's a take,
that one catches the inside corner for a strike 3-1.
Strike. So you got to make Moody throw good pitches. Canfield did that, ended up grounding out.
Michigan hitters have been supremely patient here today.
We have a 3-1 count now to
Peters. Not swinging at any of these bad pitches from the Purdue Boilermakers.
Would love an opportunity to end this with a big hit. Here's a 3-1.
That pitch is swung on, and Peters, weak pop-up on the infield to the third baseman,
for out number 2.
It for the second out of the
soft swinging bunt, essentially. Brings up Tara Blanco with nobody on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
So Canfield and Peters go down in order, and that will bring up the third hitter of the inning, Tara Blanco. In her last at-bat, Tara Blanco swung at the first pitch she saw
over here in the first
base,
area.
Knocked it into the 6th row right center field, and knocked 4 Wolverines batters in to take a commanding 5-0 lead as she shows bunt and pulls back on that first pitch for a ball 1-0.
So it's going to be Thais Gonzalez stepping in the batter's box, or the on-deck circle, because she was the pitcher.
Now the 1-0 pitch is taken outside for a ball 2-0.
2 balls and no strikes. So they're going to...
And you want Moody to be aggressive if you're a Purdue fan, but you don't really want her to be aggressive against Tara Blanco as that pitch misses outside as well.
Getting the treatment. She's up to 8 home runs and 31 runs batted in. She has 3 home runs in this series.
Tara Blanco will take a 4-pitch walk as that ball misses low. She didn't even come close to swinging as none of those pitches got close to the strike zone. Essentially an intentional walk to Tara Blanco.
So here an opportunity for Gonzalez to bat. A very rare opportunity. Thais not given that many opportunities to bat in her hand. She's made 21 appearances, now 22.
And up to bat now will be Thais Gonzalez.
So just 3 hits and 26
normally only used as a pitch runner, rarely as a defensive replacement sometimes. We'll get in that bat here as she takes that pitch inside for ball 1. So Blanco at first,
could've
2
gone
outs
back
here
to
in the
Lou
bottom
Allen.
of the 6th inning.
If
Number
they wanted
17,
to.
Michigan,
To decided
beating
to stick
Purdue
with Thais here to see
6-0.
what she could do at the plate. Give her some live, active in-game cuts. Here's the 1-0
And
Thais.
1-0
She
pitch.
takes.
That
There's a
one
whip throw
misses
down
the
to
inside
first
corner.
base, but
Snap throw down to first by the
standing
catcher
back
Biggs, but in
is
is Blanco.
Tara Blanco. A little closer than probably needed to be, but standing back in safely before Mallory Baker could even attempt to tag was Blanco. 6-0 is your score. 2-0 is your count. There are 2 outs. Michigan has Tara Blanco standing on
their
first base.
armbands.
Caitlin Moody, the pitcher for Purdue.
Now Moody
gets her
steps on
sign.
the rubber,
Here's
and
two,
her
pitch
2-0
Thais
pitch
Gonzalez,
is swung on,
who
and a weak
swings at
pop
it,
fly
pops
on
it
the
up
infield.
second
Going
base, and
behind
Ramsey's
second
under
base
for out
is
number
Ramsey,
3.
and she
So we go to
gloves
the
it
top
for the
of the
3rd out of
7th
the
inning.
inning.
Purdue's last opportunity. They trail 6-0.
Semi-intentional walk to
For
Tara
Purdue,
Blanco
it's
does no damage.
7-8-9. Ramsey,
As Purdue
Kenny,
will get their
Cavalier
last
gets
chance
the
to
bat.
bat, it coming up in
Trying
the
to come
top of
into
the
this
7th
6-0
inning.
Michigan lead. You're listening to Michigan
Down
Softball
6-0.
on 1290 WLBY.
Again, thank you for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball as they take on the Purdue Boilermakers here today. And the story at Alumni Field so far, through 6 innings, has just been the dominance of Michigan pitching and the bat of Tara Blanco. As the combination of Megan Beaubien, who's pitched 2 1/3 innings pitched, and the starter Tara Blanco have been absolutely amazing, keeping the Purdue Boilermakers to just 3 hits. The big hit today for Michigan was that Tara Blanco grand slam back in the 5th inning as she swung at the first pitch she saw from the starter for Purdue, Sydney Bates, and rocked it to deep right center field for a home run. Since then, not much action. Purdue's threatened one time, but Megan Beaubien has been absolutely outstanding on the mound as she has been all season.
10.
Due up for Purdue in the top of the 7th inning will be Stephanie Ramsey, and she will lead up the
Welcome back to the Wolfman Athletic Complex across the way at
by
Ray Fisher
Emily
Stadium.
Kenny and
Michigan
Morgan
2,
Cavanaugh,
Delaware 2, bottom
barring
of the
any
6th
pinch-hitting
inning. Michigan with
situations.
some base runners and trying to
Ramsey,
take the
this will
lead
be her
back
3rd
in
at
that
bat of
game.
the day,
A
doubled back
game
in
in
the
which
3rd
they,
inning,
of course,
and
a series of
grounded
the
out
first 2 games
to
here
Blanco
at Alumni
in the
Field. It is
4th.
6-0 Michigan as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Michigan relief pitcher Megan Beaubien trying to close this one out. Tara Blanco started the game, pitched pretty well for the Wolverines early on. Through 3 2/3 innings of work, she gave up 3 hits, 5 strikes,
close out the Purdue
But in that
Boilermakers
4th
here.
inning, she loaded the bases, so Beaubien came in, and she has been in the game ever
Stephanie
since.
Ramsey
Here's the first pitch
doesn't
to
offer
Ramsey
at
to
that
open
first
up
pitch, which
the
is in
top
there
of the
for a
7th,
strike.
and that is a strike
0-1.
to the second baseman for Purdue. Ramsey doubled in the 3rd and grounded out in the 4th.
Stephanie Ramsey on the season
Michigan
batting
and this one
309,
here.
and she's shown that she is a pretty advanced hitter here
Here's the
today,
0-1 to
doubling
Ramsey.
back in the
Swung on
3rd
and fouled
inning as
back.
she laces that one back to the foul,
No
back to the
balls and
backstop
2
for a
strikes.
foul. 0-2.
The swagger to Beaubien in the circle. Talk a lot about swagger, so it seems when we talk about some freshmen around
Beaubien
around
wants to
campus.
work quickly with
Precocious
no one on
freshman.
base,
Here's
and
the
she
0-2
does
to
with her
Ramsey.
0-2 pitch.
Just missing outside.
Just
1
a
ball
bit
and 2
outside.
strikes.
Didn't miss by much, but Beaubien will have to make another pitch with the count at 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Crowd ready to see this game end. Chilly afternoon here at Alumni Field.
Now
Here's the
Beaubien's
1-2
pitch.
Swung
That
on
one
and fouled to
swung
the
on
screen.
and fouled
That
sharply off
remains
to the
1
right
ball
side.
and 2 strikes.
Good
So
protective swing right there
Ramsey
by Stephanie
battles to keep
Ramsey.
things alive. Ramsey,
An
one of the
excellent
few players in the
fastball by
lineup.
Megan
They have 3
Beaubien
hits.
that
Purdue
she
does.
just got a piece
1
of.
by Hickson-Ball, 1 by Wagner, and 1 by Ramsey, who's batting right now. That's your 5, 6, and 7 spots for Purdue. Michigan has 6 runs on 8 hits in an error. Purdue has no runs, 3 hits,
comes
3
set,
errors.
and
Here's the
1-2
1-2.
pitch.
Swing and a miss,
Swung on
strike
and
3. That's
missed.
the 4th strikeout of
She
the
went
game.
with the off
Now
speed
by
right
Megan
there
Beaubien.
at the bottom of the zone, and she got Stephanie Ramsey to chase
And with
for
1 out,
her 4th strikeout of the game.
that's going to bring up Emily Kenny.
So Megan Beaubien
The
just 2
left
outs
fielder who
away
came in the game in the
from
middle
giving
of the
Michigan
game,
another
replacing
victory, and you can
Crisco,
definitely call it a streak if Michigan
who was
wins this
struggling in the
game.
field and at
It
the
would
plate.
push their
So
win
here's
streak to
Kenny,
4
who grounded
games
out
after
in
that
the 5th
impressive
inning to
streak
face
earlier in the
Beaubien.
season, as
And the
Beaubien's first
pitch is in
pitch
for a call
is
strike
in
1,
there
so
for a
balls and
strike
strike.
against Emily Kenny.
Now we'll see. As long as nobody's on base, you generally see Megan move at a pretty quick pace. Here's the 0-1 to
And
Kenny.
Beaubien's second
Swung
pitch
on
is
and hit
swung
the
on
ground
and
off
fouled
the
at the
then
plate.
right into the
That
arm.
one's a strike
of
as
Kenny,
well.
so that'll be a
0-2.
foul ball. No balls, 2 strikes.
So Beaubien wanting to end this game quickly and send the fans here at Alumni Field home happy. Many of the fans here swaddled in blankets and
The ball,
definitely
2 strikes, 1
multiple
out.
layers,
Get your signs,
as
check
it
your
hasn't even
wristband,
reached
now she's
40
back
degrees
in
here in
circle
Ann
on the
Arbor.
rubber.
Don't tell that
Lines
to
and
Megan
fires the
Bobian,
0-2
though, as her
pitch.
0-2
Foul
pitch
back
is swung
over
on
the
and
screen
fouled
and out of
over
play,
and
and
actually out of
the area
Alumni
in front
Field
of the
behind home
Michigan
plate.
team house behind us. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes.
Temperatures not
Bobby
affecting this Michigan
snares that
offense
ball
or
from,
Michigan pitching, as
fresh
they've
ball
been
that she
absolutely
received.
on
Checks your
fire.
side from the dugout, checks your wristband, and here we go.
Now
Here's another
Bobian's
0-2 pitch.
pitch.
Off-speed swing.
Swung on and missed.
That off-speed pitch is downright
That
filthy
was
today.
another amazing off-speed pitch
When
by
she
Megan
throws
Bobian, the
fast,
same
fast,
pitch
throw,
that she
slow,
got
and changes up that
Stephanie
speed. It's
Ramsey on
really
to start the
possible
inning.
for
She gets
anybody
Emily
to
Kenny
do
swinging
the
as
difference,
well,
and then
and that brings up Morgan Cavender right here.
And that's another strikeout for Megan Bobian.
So
Number
2
5
outs here
in this
in
contest.
the top of the 7th inning.
15
Megan
strikeouts
Bobian
she's
hoping to
recorded
send
this weekend
Michigan
over
home
Purdue.
with another
And Cavender
victory
steps
as her
in. She
first pitch
swings
is
and
swung
fouls
on
out
and
in
fouled
back
back
of
by
the
Morgan Cavender.
Cavender, who came to the game earlier as a pinch hitter and stayed in the game.
This is Cavender's first
Walked
at-bat
fifth
of
inning,
the game.
eventually moved to second base and was
Came in
stranded
earlier
down
as a pitch,
there.
as a
And after
pinch
that
hitter.
first pitch,
Pardon her
swung back
second
to the
at-bat. She
screen.
walked
0-1
back in the
count
5th
coming.
inning.
Purdue down to their last out. Here's the 0-1
She
in the dirt.
looks at
1
that
ball,
0-1
1
pitch
strike.
in the dirt for a ball 1-1.
Michigan trying to end this one here. What really put this one away was a Terra
Megan
Blanco
Bobian
grand
checks her
slam in
wristband
the
for the
5th.
side.
Michigan
Steps
with 6
back
total
onto the
runs, 5 of
pitching
them in
rubber.
that 5th inning. Here's
Now
the
her
1-1 to
1-1
Cavender.
pitch.
That was a little
That
bit low.
one's
2
low,
balls
2-1.
and 1 strike. So Purdue did have a couple of opportunities in this game. They have
So Purdue
stranded
just
6
has
runners
3
on
hits
base,
on the day,
including in the
trying to
4th inning
get
when they had the bases
something
loaded
going
and
here at the
Bobian
top of
came
the
in
7th inning.
to
But
record the
definitely a
final
tough
out.
ask
6 runners left on
against
base.
Megan
Of course,
Bobian, who's
Michigan
looked
has
really
7
sharp
to go
in
along
those
with
3
their
innings
6
so
runs
far.
scored.
That pitch is swung on and laced into the right center field gap. It's going to get all the way to the gap. Going for second is Cavender. Up with the throw is Falk. She'll throw to second. Not in time, as sliding in safely is Cavender with a 2-out double to keep things alive for the Boilermakers.
And we go back to the top of the lineup is Baker in the
So
Purdue
that will
lineup.
flip the lineup here for the Purdue Boilermakers
for a
in bringing up their
conversation
#1 hitter,
with pitcher
Mallory
Megan
Baker.
Bobian and catcher
And
Katie
before
Alexander.
Bobian can pitch to her, Jan
The fourth hit given up in
Brundage
the
will
game
come
by
out to have a
Michigan.
chat with her pitcher.
Now the hits have been collected by the 5, 6, 7, and 9 batters for Purdue. But here we go back to the top of the lineup, and it's going to be Mallory Baker 0 for 3
So Mallory
in
Baker,
the game,
0 for 3 on the
9
day.
in the series. Michigan trying to close this one
A
out.
strikeout swinging
One of
back
those
in the
things
first
you
inning.
tell a young pitcher in this
Worked well
scenario
here
is
for Megan
don't
Bobian as
think
well.
about
Bobian
runner
already with
behind
5
you.
strikeouts
It's not
in the 3
important.
innings pitched.
And you say the same thing to the catcher.
So
You
she
don't
did just give
risk
up
any
that
throws down the third
double
base.
to
It's
Morgan
easier
Cavender
on
with
second
2
base
outs.
than it would be.
Michigan with the
Purdue
6-0 lead
wrap
here
this
at
thing
the
up.
top of the
There are
7th
2
inning.
outs. Michigan
1
leads
out away
6-0.
from the victory.
Purdue's down to their final
Now the
out. Here's
first
the
pitch
to Baker,
is
and that one
taken
misses.
for a ball on the
little low
inside.
Ball 1 ball,
1-0.
no strikes. Michigan hosts EMU here on Wednesday for the Battle of Washington County, and they hit to Penn State this coming weekend. More opportunities for good opportunities for wins
Bobian
for
comes
Michigan.
set, her 1-0 pitch is swung on and fouled back to the screen. 1-1.
Wolverines come back to Alumni Field. They have a midweek contest against Michigan State on April 11th, and they play Rutgers here April 13th, 14th. Excuse me, April 14th, 13th, 14th, and 15th.
Now
Here's
Bobian's
the
1-1 pitch.
swing and a miss, strike 2.
Swing
Weekend
and a
of
miss.
spring game, Friday, Saturday,
Really
Sunday.
fast fastball right there by
contest here
Megan
against
Bobian. No
Rutgers.
radar gun here at
Not a
Alumni
bad idea.
Field.
2 p.m.
You can tell that one had some
followed
extra
by
juice on it.
spring game at
As
7.
Purdue is down to their
Yeah,
last
Monday.
strike.
1 ball,
Fans
2
on their
strikes, 2
feet.
outs.
And the 1-2
Check
pitch.
swing does not go.
Just
2 balls
high.
and 2 strikes.
And the count will go to 2-2.
Mallory Baker right now seems like Purdue's last hope. They have a runner on
Fans
second
getting
base.
amped here at Alumni Field. 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning.
There are
A
2
2-2
outs.
count. Morgan
Fans
Cavender
banging
out
on the
at
seats
second
and on the
base.
stands, trying to make some noise.
Bobian steps on
Here's
the rubber. The
2-2
2-2 pitch.
pitch.
A swing and a
Strike
miss.
3 and a 6th
Ball
strikeout of the
game.
game for Megan
That will
Bobian
do it
is
for
the
the
final
Michigan
out of the game.
softball as they
Michigan
take
beats
it
Purdue
6-0
6-0
here against
complete
Purdue
the
today.
3-game sweep over the
A
Boilermakers.
dominant pitching performance by a combination of Terra Blanco and Megan Bobian. The big hit coming in the bottom of the 5th inning on Terra Blanco's grand slam, as that essentially widened the gap for the Michigan Wolverines, and after that, Megan Bobian took it to the house. Number 17 Michigan Wolverines get the win 6-0.
The big
Getting
hit
the
was
win on
Terra
the day
Blanco's
will
grand
be the
slam
pitcher
in the
Terra
5th inning.
Blanco.
4 of
Assessed
Michigan's
with the
5
loss
runs
will
that
be
inning
Sydney
accounted for on
Bates.
that blast.
Although Bates
6 runs
pitched
in
pretty
total,
well
6
up
runs
until
on
that
8
grand
hits.
slam by Terra
Blanco pitched
Blanco, allowing that
scoreless
first
ball.
run unearned.
So did Megan
In the
Bobian.
end,
The
that
Wolverines
grand
pick
slam
up the
by
win
Blanco put it
to
over the
improve
top as
to 28-7
groundskeepers begin
overall,
to put some
4-1 in
Easter
the
eggs
playoffs.
all over
Again, we have
the
a
outfield here at Alumni Field for the post-game Easter egg hunt.
Right here
Thank you
at
to our
Alumni
listeners.
Field.
Thank you for listening to WCBS Sports coverage
Thanks to
of
Miz
Michigan
for his
softball
great
on
job
this
as
Easter
always
Sunday.
back.
One want to wish you a happy Easter and
looking forward to
and
more
a happy
softball this
Passover
weekend.
as well,
Beyond
whichever
from
one
there,
applies
it's
to
been a really
you.
fun afternoon here at Chile Alumni
Thank you
Field.
for
Once
tuning
again,
in
the
as
Final Four,
Michigan takes this one
Purdue
6-0
You've been
against the
listening to
Michigan
softball
Boilermakers.
brought to you by
If you
Hillside
want
Time
to
with
head
Community
over
Advantage
to
Sports
our
and the Emden
WCBN
on
2 channel right now,
WWI,
the
Ann
Michigan
Arbor,
men's
a
baseball
Cumulus
team
station.
taking on the Delaware Blue Hens as they look to extend their win streak to 12. Again, thanks for listening in. As the final here, Michigan 6, Purdue 0.
For the women's game, yeah.